The auction had passed throughout the day and was about to come to an end. Well, I hope you enjoyed tonight's auction, and I'd like to close it, but there's still time, so if you have any requests for future items, please speak up here. I raised my hand and stood up. It's not just the moderator, but the eyes of the people around us are focused on me. I don't want to make a request, but I have an item I would like to sell here. It has already been identified and confirmed as authentic. Oh, an article by that gentleman. This is very interesting. I was invited on stage and placed the jar on a cloth-lined table. I had an unexpected expense, but I am confident that I will recoup some of the money with this item. I know the price must be high, but how high will it be? What is that? It's an elixir. What? The audience was stunned. The elixir is a potion that can cure any wound or illness in a short time. Even if your arm is torn off or your heart stops beating, if you drink it, you will be cured in seconds. It is a miraculous element that cannot be reproduced with today's technology. You don't mind if we examine the elixir here? Yes, I have no problem. The appraisal scroll was brought into the room by the host. He unfolded the rolled paper and recited a short incantation. Wonderful. No doubt it is a real elixir. You can state the desired value for this object. 10 million. Have you heard? Ladies and gentlemen, the starting price is 10 million. The room was filled with excitement and all participants started bidding at exorbitant prices. 100 million, 200 million, 300 million, 500 million, 700 million, 800 million, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 2,200 million. Sold for 2.25 billion. I nearly fell flat on my ass at the staggering price. I knew the item was worth a lot, but I had no idea it would be such a ridiculously high price. In the upper-class world, the elixir was a treasure that could easily be a bottled god to them. They don't want to buy it because they plan to use it, they buy it because they want that feeling of peace of mind. Just by owning it, they can sleep soundly at night. Thank you for this last great exposure. We will pay you shortly, so please wait until we close. I left the stage. I went to a small, clean living room. There was a simple table and a sofa. The host entered the room with two young men and brought a cart with the skill ceiling scrolls, the fairy and the gold. The last exhibition was a great surge of emotions. You need surprises like that from time to time. So, going into it, can I subtract the fairy amount from the sale price? Please. Very well, sir. Of the 2.25 billion, 1.1 billion is deducted and the remainder is 1.15 billion. I originally had 1.2 billion, so now I have a little over 2.35 billion. The ridiculous amount of money seems to paralyze my senses. Now, this is for you. I received a basket with the fairy inside. Inside was a little girl, about 20 centimeters tall. She's huddled in a corner, staring at me, looking terrified. She reminds me of the old Kt. I took off my mask and showed my true face. Why are you looking at me like that? It's nothing. Now, what should we do with this fairy? We returned to the house and I placed the basket on the table. He had made a master-slave contract with the fairy, and had a pattern around his chest, like tz, clank. I opened the basket door. Come out. I'm not going to hurt you. Humans are very sneaky. I can't let my guard down. That being said, she did not come out of the basket. She had a lovely face, and her hair was in two pigtails of light green. Still, he wore leather armor like an adventurer. She has transparent wings on her back. In addition to a hammer on her back that was about the same size as her, she was small, but she could also fight. I'll get you some tea, master. Thank you. Do you want some too? Can you make tea for the three of us? I received a yes from the kitchen. She was still very cautious. It's no good if I don't break the ice somehow. Then I remembered something. I bought some cookies today. Do you want some cookies? She almost jumped out of the basket, but reconsidered and quickly returned to the corner of the basket. Unlike when I first met her, this fairy is fine in every way. Her expression changed greatly. In any case, I offered her a cookie and put it in the basket. She grabbed it in fear and ran to the corner. I'm not going to let you get away with this. Is the drink hot? Not bad. Tastes good. What a sad assessment. Kid comes over and places the cup and sits next to me. She also placed a small bowl in the basket. The fairy cooled her drink and then took a sip. By the way, Master, why did you buy this girl? I heard a voice saying to help her. What? The fairy was elated. Did you hear Frau's prayer? Well, at first I thought it was a hallucination, but it didn't seem like one, and it would be a shame to ignore it, so I made an offer. The fairy jumped out of the basket and prostrated herself in front of me. I didn't know it was you, my lord. I apologize for my rude attitude. Hey, what do you mean by, lord? Forgive my rudeness. But what race are you? A dragonoid, half human, half dragon. The fairy raises both hands and shouts, yes, oh, I finally found it. I wonder if it is possible to lower the volume of his voice a little. I am concerned that it will be a nuisance to the neighborhood. Wow, your master is a dragon man? What are you talking about now? Kid was surprised. Does the fairy have appraisal skills? Kid replied, yes, he is my master. And he is a dragonoid. And so, her eyes widened. What is the reason for this reaction? What's wrong with being a dragon man? Master, by the great race, by dragonoid, you mean the dragon men, don't you? Really? Why are you answering so casually? Why, I don't know. I was a human, but my stats tell me I'm a dragonoid. Even if I was told that the great race was the dragon people, it still doesn't make sense. The fairy sat upright and folded her hands in front of her chest. My name is Frau, of the fairy race, and I thank you for rescuing me from the clutches of humans. Don't worry, I'll cancel the master-slave contract right away, so you can go back to where you came from. Not so fast, my lord. My father, mother and brother will blame me if I go back to my hometown after finally finding our great master. They'll all hate me. They'll say things like you useless washboard. What do you mean by washboard? Well, I won't pay attention to it. However, if you do not want me to break the contract, then you must plan to follow me. It is difficult to count on fairies as a force to be reckoned with, but you can rely on me. I may be cute, but I'm also a warrior who can fight really well. I'll overcome anything. Warrior, what level are you? 30. Based on her physique, she would be equivalent to a level 20 human. Obviously, a dragon's level cannot lose to a human's level, and this same goes for a human and a fairy. The size is too different in the first place. Even at the same level, there is a big difference in capacity depending on the size. By the way, I am a dragonoid, but I feel just like a human. I haven't seen a level 300 human in the first place, so I can't compare. But I think the basic abilities are about the same. Maybe. Kaiyui? Pant comes out of its seal. As soon as he sees Frau, he rubs himself against her and seems to enjoy it. Ah, master, what is this white stuff? This is Panda, he's your new friend. Kaiyui, Frau and Panda soon became friends and flew around the house. The next morning, when I rolled over, I woke up to a strange voice saying Yuju. Why are you here? It was Frau, the fairy I brought to our house yesterday. She was limping, maybe she was a little sore due to a blow. I can hear her heart beating, so I guess he's okay. After dressing, I went downstairs with Frau walking around. In the kitchen, it was preparing breakfast. Good morning, master. Good morning. Hey, I'd like to know why Frau was in my bedroom. Do you know anything about that? What? I can see you had no idea. When we took our seats, Kd served us bread and tea. Lately Kd is taking care of all the chores. It makes me feel both happy and guilty. Kd sits in the seat opposite to mine. How long will we stay in the royal capital? Maybe 1 more week. I take a bite of the bread and think about my future plans. I don't have a destination in mind, but that doesn't mean I can't go anywhere. If possible, I would like to go somewhere where I can see something unusual. What place? Said Frau, who suddenly stood up, behaving unusually. When she saw my face, she was instantly relieved. Oh, yes, the Lord rescued Frau. Hey, can you drop that tone of voice? I don't like honorifics. But the beast girl uses honorifics on you. Could I allow, since she's a slave? But you're not, so you can talk to me however you want. Frau was under the table, red-faced and squirming. Understood. I am ashamed before the Lord. Yes, yes, that's fine. I'd like you to stop calling me Lord. That's not right. It's outrageous to call the Lord of the great race by name. If I did, my father, mother and brother would spit on me. What kind of family is that? The fairy race is a strange one. Here you go, Frau San. Thank you. I have long thought that Kd is quick to open up to others. It's probably because she's cute and polite. That gives a big vote of confidence. It's good to have someone who can get along with others. But where should we go after leaving the royal capital? In that case, I recommend that we go to the hidden fairy village. I would like the Lord to visit us. The hidden village of fairies. That sounds interesting. Kd's ears perked up at this, as if her curiosity had been piqued. My people live in a forest in the neighboring country Gridget. There are always flowers blooming and many fairies that live there. There are also ruins and relics that the Lord would like, so I'm sure he'll have fun there. Ruins, a broken bar, and the food? Of course. There are delicacies that can only be eaten in the village. I especially recommend the fairy's secret honey sake tilde copyright. It's delicious. Alright, let's go. When I heard the sake tilde copyright, I immediately made up my mind. Regme food and delicious sake tilde copyright. There are also ruins, and I have the impression that there will be no shortage of sightseeing. I guess we have no choice but to go there. Before we head to the village, I must warn you. Fairies hate humans. They might attack you, but Frau will be vigilant to make sure that happens as little as possible. I don't care if they attack me. Yes, of course. I'm sure it won't work on us. What are you saying? Don't underestimate them just because they are fairies. The village warriors are much stronger than Frau. We nodded silently as she spoke at the top of her lungs. Nothing may happen to us, but it never hurts to be warned. I have the skills to endure it all. Although, as Frau said, it's best not to let your guard down. What do you want to do today? Do you want to take a job in the guild? No, I don't want to do that kind of thing. Kd laughs and says, could it be because of that? The other day I introduced myself to the guild and got a big welcome. Even the guild master came up to me to greet us in person, saying, and to think that the Manu brigade was B rank, but it's actually an S rank party. The guild adventurers also shouted the name of the main brigade over and over again. I have been asked to shake hands with a lot of strangers and even sign my name, which I have never done before. Yes, that's the reason why I don't feel like approaching the guild in the royal capital at the moment. I've said it many times before, but I don't like to stand out. For the first time in history, a party receives a hero title and we are now the center of attention. If I do something strange here and stand out again, I won't be able to leave the country. I took a sip of my tea. We arrived at a meadow a few kilometers from the royal capital. I decided to practice my magic to make effective use of my time. I have magic power, but so far I have not been able to train. Water. Bash Hun. A line of water stretches up to the sky and disappears. Earth. Dosh Hun. A pillar of stone rises rapidly and disappears into the sky. Wind. Whoosh. A gust of wind picked up, whipping the sand. Kd's skirt was lifted as well. Wind. Whoosh. Her skirt was lifted again, although I couldn't see her panties as I would like to. Let's try again. Master. Time to try something different. Please don't look at me like that. I tried some spells, but they were all too linear and I couldn't control them well. I can't use this in a battle. Master's magic is quite bad. Even when he tries to condition it with spells, I can't believe it's all so direct, but with higher degree of strength. I've never seen anything like it. But I can repeat the attacks, and the power is perfect. It pains me to say this as a slave, but Master's magic is too dangerous. It is not useful at all. I guess so. The power is too strong, the hit percentage is bad and it is all straightforward. On the other hand, there are some positive points. I can shoot anything I want with inexhaustible magic power, and if I use 4 attributes, everything is done instantly. Like, if I want, I can burn anything. No, this is stupid. Kd is right. This is useless. Panda is so fluffy. Kaiyui, Frau lies on Panda's stomach. They have already become good friends. What do you think of a sword surrounded with flames? How do you do that? I don't know. No one agrees with me. There is nothing to worry about. A man's desires should only matter to the man. From this day forward, I vow to control my power someday, and create my flame sword. Oh? Suddenly, a text appears in my field of vision. 8 notice, the level 3 dungeon you created has been upgraded to level 5. 8 notice, the number of levels has increased to 50. 8 notice, my room has been created inside the dungeon. 8 a room? Why is it upgrading? What the hell happened after leaving the dungeon unattended? What is it, Master? The dungeon has leveled up. Maybe it's that rumor. Seems convinced of something as she slams her fist into the palm of her hand. What is this rumor? I am curious and would like an explanation. I have heard a rumor that a dungeon of high difficulty level has appeared near the royal capital. Dropped items are very rare and adventurers from all over are going there. Maybe that's why the level went up. It's probably because there are so many adventurers dying there. No. That can't be happening. But I'm also an adventurer, so I understand that it would be cool to have a dungeon near where I live. I'll pretend I didn't hear what just said. By the way, do you know which room is mine? Huh? A text appears in my field of vision. 8 elect, do you wish to move into my room? Yes/Noah. Oh, can I go there from here? I'm curious. So here we go. I gathered my belongings and grabbed Kt and Frau's hands. Panda was sitting on my head. Take me to my room. I knew I had arrived somewhere, but it was dark and I couldn't see anything. Booh! In the center of the room, a form of white core began to emit light, illuminating the entire room. What is this place? The dungeon. My room was a place with a considerably large area. The room is 100 square meters, and the ceiling is high enough to exceed 10 meters. The light source is a crystal in the center of the room, but it's so bright that it appears to emit light throughout the room. If the core is here, that means that. I opened the stats window, and checked which floor we were on. Surprisingly, it was not the top floor, but unlike this room, there was a blue core. Apparently, it is different from this crystal. The stairs leading down are hidden by a door that ordinary adventurers will not find. I started looking around and had an idea. Why don't we turn this place into a warehouse? So there would be more room for future storage purposes, especially since magic storage is almost full. Plus, I can always come back here to pick up things I need, or bring things I might need for a special occasion with ease. I have decided to leave a lot of my belongings and money here. Master, can I also have some space here? Sure, take as much space as you need. I don't need that much, I'll just put my collection here. Takes out a box from the magic storage containing her personal items. He also took out several unfamiliar boxes and placed them in a corner. Opening one of the boxes, he pulled out what looked like a cloth and buried her face in it. Her tail began wagging vigorously. Master, I feel like I'm looking at something I shouldn't be. I think it will be a good idea to give her a bit of room to put her things in. It'll be good for This is Frau's space. Kaiyui, you think you had your eye on this space first? Kaiyui, first come, first served. Find another spot. Kaiyui, what are you doing? Are you trying to fight me? In one corner, Frau and Panda were fighting. As Panda is bigger, Frau is easily outclassed and raises the white flag. All right, Frau will take that corner over there. Kaiyui, why are you chasing me, Panda? Now you're just trying to annoy me. Kaio. Panda, you're being annoying. The fight between Frau and Panda starts again. They seem as close as if they were lifelong friends. Panda is glad to have a friend. Now that we know where to put our stuff, let's get back to the surface. Yes. Okay. Kaiyui. We held hands and teleported back to where we were. I packed my things and then we left the house. I locked the door and handed the keys to Jonathan. Where are you going now? We'll go to Gridget for now. We'll be in touch through the guild if we need anything. Remember to stay out of trouble in other countries. You're a decorated hero in this country. I know. We have been in the royal capital for a little over a week. We are finally continuing our journey again. I feel like I'm taking it too easy. but it's the right thing to do for the sake of my journey. We ate lots of delicious food, saw many interesting things and spent time in harmony with our friends. That is what the Manu Brigade is all about. We'll see you again soon. Be careful on your journey. I shook Jonathan's hand. I am grateful to him. He has been very helpful. I hope the next time we meet, it will be under better circumstances. What about Panda? Caillou. Panda spins round Jonathan and digs into his stomach with great force. I guess it's their way of saying goodbye. Jonathan crouched down while placing his hands on his abdomen. The blow must have hit him hard. Apologize for what you did, Panda. That looks painful. Caillou. We left the city as if we were fleeing. After leaving the royal capital, we safely entered the neighboring country of Grigit. Grigit is a relatively small country. Most of it is covered with forests, and it is also a mysterious country with many legends. It is also famous for its fairy inhabitants. Besides that, the last temple of sacred weapons is here. It's another beautiful day. Good morning, Master. It was sitting on a chair near the bed. Judging from the big smile on her face, she looked to be in a great mood. She wagged her tail from side to side and her ears twitched more than usual. Why is my shirt wet? Spee. Caillou. Above me was Frau sleeping on top of Panda. Panda seemed to be annoyed by the drool. Are we heading to the hidden fairy village today? Yes. After all, it was Frau's idea to go there. Maybe she's trying to get her lord to do a particular task. It's possible. Looks like she was looking for me. I looked at Frau and couldn't help but laugh at her unkempt appearance. Panda approached me, and I pressed my finger to Frau's cheek. Yugu, what's wrong? You were having a nightmare. I'm surprised you didn't wake up. How mean. Okay, enough with the jokes. I quickly changed clothes and put on my equipment. I stopped for a moment to look at my armor. It was in bad shape. I think it's about time I buy a new one. We should stop by the armor store before going to the fairy village. Master, your armor looks like it's about to break. I was just thinking the same thing. In that case, I know a good place to find some new armor. I'm having a sudden feeling of D8 copyright AVU. On the way to the fairy village, we visited the second temple of the sacred sword. The reason we came to this place was because of Kt. Haven't we already gone to a sacred temple and retrieved the sword? What I need now is armor. Master, do you no longer remember that the object we had found became a sword afterwards? That's true, but how is this supposed to become armor? It is generally considered a holy sword, but in reality, holy armaments have properties that are not restricted by form. If you want, it can become a sword, a spear, a shield or even a suit of armor. But this great sword will not become a one-handed sword. Of course, it cannot always be used freely. It will only take the form the owner desires once he takes it out. Somehow I could understand what she meant. I just have to think about wanting armor once I pull out the sword. But, to my knowledge, I have never heard of anyone in possession of 2 or 3 sacred weapons. Even the greatest hero who ever lived is said to have owned a single sacred sword. It's all right. After all, master is master. Why do you trust me so much? Frau, who was sitting on Panda's back, also nods with folded arms. How can you be so sure of what Kt says if you haven't even known me that long? This temple doesn't look that different from the previous one. The temple was very similar to the one in Armand, a huge pure white structure. There is a divine and indescribable atmosphere. I wonder if the reason there is no one protecting this place is because no one wants to risk getting close. Master, footprints. I only noticed after Kid pointed it out. There are a series of footprints leading to the temple. Judging by the number of prints, there are 4 people. It may be that the sacred weapon has already been taken by someone else. I went to the door and opened it. Pank. A light came on in the dark hallway. I'm begin to walk deeper inside. It's there. Apparently they couldn't take it. Caillou. The sword before me shone brightly as light coming in from a stained glass window was reflected off of it. I wonder if it really is the second sacred weapon. Not that I doubt it, but I find it hard to believe. What if it's not the second and it's a trap? Is there a possibility of something like this happening? It is better to take it out and clear away my doubts. I stand in front of the sword. I grip the hilt and control my breathing. You can do it, Master. Yes. Kid's confident voice echoed throughout the room. When we arrived at the royal capital, We immediately headed for the Adventurers Guild. We're the White Fang, and I was wondering if you have any high-paying jobs. I approached the counter and spoke to the guild staff. I let him know the name of my party as quickly and casually as I could. If you're an adventurer, you probably know I'm the hero. Just hearing my name will make you shudder and kneel before me. Kyukaku. Come on, boy, be amazed. Worship me. If you're looking for a job, please look it up on the board. That's what everyone does. Do you have any idea who I am? ? I am Sane of the S-rank party. I am the man who has been chosen as the hero. So what? The staff's reaction is horribly slow. In my homeland, Balsl, the mere mention of my name would cause a stir in the guild, and of course, the treatment is also special. With one word from me, the guild master would hurry to give me a good job with a high price while serving me tea. I have been here several times, so why am I being treated so harshly? I wasn't the hero at the time, but the treatment back then still wasn't as cold as it is now. I don't know if you're S-rank or a hero, but if you want to make a big name for yourself in this country, you'll have to start by doing great deeds and outdoing the Maniou Brigade. Ha ha ha. Hey midget, surpassing the Maniou Brigade is impossible. Two adventurers who were drinking alcohol started making fun of me. A great, fierce anger surged up from the pit of my stomach. At the same time, my ears turned hot and red from embarrassment. I am the hero, a perfect man, and you have made a fool of me. I will kill them. When I realized it, my legs began to move on their own and my fists sank into the adventurers' faces. One of the men is slammed against the wall, and collapses to the ground. Hey you arsehole. What the fuck do you think you're doing? This is what you deserve for being rude to me. I am the hero. I am the one chosen to defeat the Demon King and save the world. What kind of hero are you? I don't want to hear that kind of crap from someone who is irrationally violent. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up. Dozens of adventurers started fighting against me. The difference in his strength against mine was evident. I am close to level 60, and they on the other hand, their level is 30 or 40 at the most. I hit them one by one. Sane, please don't do this. Get out of my way, Sora. But you're going to kill them. I grabbed an opponent by the chest and lifted him up while he was covered in blood. It's not a good idea to kill someone in the guild. At worst I could get arrested and end up in jail. It would suck if it all ends here. Ha, they saved your life, scum. I threw the man away. Sora began treating the wounded with his recovery skills. Hey, why yes. I called a woman from the staff. What's this Maniou Brigade everyone's talking about? It's a B-ranked party. Huh? B rank? It is insulting to say that a party of that caliber is better than me. My party is S rank, it's the hero's party. Or are they stupid in this country? However, the words the staff kept saying cleared things up. The Maniou Brigade is the one that successfully defeated the Queen of the Death Ants, something that even the soldiers of the royal capital could not do, and became the first party in history to receive the title of hero. As a guild, we consider them the only S-ranked party. What the heck? A party is a hero instead of an individual? That is impossible. That would make heroes out of everyone who belongs there. It's like having more than one hero, and it never ends. Even if the central member dies, the title can be passed on. Unless they are stripped of that title, they will forever be treated as heroes by anyone who interacts with these guys. Even I have not been given the title of hero. However, the Maniou Brigade and its members did something that was impossible for just anyone, apart from me, the hero. This makes a mockery of my existence. I am going to be pushed aside. My future was supposed to be great. My glorious path that was supposed to be full of flowers and praises. You don't look good. That's right. I feel terrible. I am sure they are the ones who have ruined all my plans. Everywhere I go, they are one step ahead of me. If they were able to defeat the Queen of the Death Ants, it means they have the same level as me. I'm also not familiar with this party's name. It must have been formed very recently. The leader slew the dragon, took the sacred sword out of the temple and explored the ruins of Enoch. It all makes sense when you put all the information together. I am almost certain that the Manu Brigade is the one getting in my way. Where can I find this adventuring party? I know that they have already left the royal capital. Rumor has it that they are heading for the nation of Gridget. So Gridget, right there is a temple of the sacred weapon. So far nothing has gone my way, but this time it will be different. I'm going to pull out the sacred sword and make a spectacular debut, and of course, I will have to face the Manu Brigade. They have made me far too angry. They are going to pay for everything they have done to me. It's time to go. But there are still many wounded. Leave them. Oh okay. I called Sora and we left the guild. The Manu Brigade? Oh yes, that party is staying here, the inn owner tells me in a light tone. I shuddered with pleasure to hear it. As soon as I reached the remote nation of Gridget, I was able to find the inn where the party was staying. I checked with the owner to find out which room they are in. Now all we have to do is get rid of them. The opponent is a bearer of the sacred sword. Even if you are the hero, it is a bad idea to attack head-on. First I have to get the sacred sword, then we will deal with them. We hurried to the temple of the sacred weapon, choosing not to stay at the inn as it was in a very remote place. This is the sacred sword. At last, a sacred and beautiful one-handed sword is thrust into the pedestal in front of me. It's like it's been waiting for me. Congratulations, Sane. Your time has finally come. Come on, hurry up and pull it out. I'm sure you're quite capable of doing it. Well, I mustn't rush it. You have to create an atmosphere for this kind of thing. All three were convinced that I would succeed. Well, I'm going to approach. Gently grasp the handle. From this moment on, I am going to become a hero. And then, I will kill the members of the Manu Brigade. I'm so excited I can't wait. I put all my strength into both arms, and pulled. HMMPH. What's wrong? Why can't I take it out? Is this some kind of test? Is that why I can't take it out? Come on, get out of there already. Don't play hard to get. You're going to become mine anyway, so get out fast. I put my foot on the pedestal and tried to pull out the sword with all my might. Blood vessels throughout my body began to rise and sweat poured from my forehead. Cut the jokes and hurry up, Sane. Yeah, you're the hero. You're supposed to be able to do that. Your face doesn't look good. It's too red. This is stupid. Why won't it come out? I'm the chosen one, the hero. I am the man who will save the world. I am the most perfect person there is. I don't have a single flaw. It is almost inevitable that the sacred sword will fall into my hands. That's what I insisted for the next 24 hours. But the sacred sword did not come out. I grabbed the handle with both hands and pulled it with all my strength. Phew! A dazzling light came from the sword. The light from the sword did not diminish, but became brighter until it dyed the room white. And when the light went out, the sword in my right hand was gone. So that's the master's new armor. It's beautiful. It looks lighter than I expected. I thought a full suit of armor would suit the Lord, though. Caillou. I touched my chest and realized I was wearing metal armor. It was located on the torso and both parts of my legs and arms. The design was very simple, nothing flashy. I was imagining full armor of some sort, but this seems to be sufficient. If I'm going to be traveling, it's good to have light armor. How does it feel? It's very light. I'm not sure how tough it will be, but it's holy armor, so it should be pretty tough. Speaking of which, I never told K to evaluate my sacred sword. Let's take this opportunity for K to take a look at it. Evaluate it? Yes please. I can't do that. It is impossible to evaluate the armor because my level is not adequate. The information I would see would not be very accurate. What do you mean by that? Unlike normal armor, the sacred armor makes all information unreadable. Perhaps its level is so high that it can hide its information. For some reason, I already knew that analyzing the sacred armor was going to be impossible. There is still much mystery surrounding the sacred armor. If this sacred object could be analyzed, it would be known for many years where it was created, with what materials, the technology and the secrets it contains. Now that we've gotten what we needed, it's time to go to the fairy village. Excellent. We left the temple. The sound of branches crackling on the fire enveloped the place. Soupe, Supi, Master. Stretched her arms over her head as she said things in her sleep. I'm curious to know what kind of dreams she's having. 2 days have passed since we entered the forest, and we are still moving towards the hidden village of the fairy tribe. Just above us, Rosyuk flew through the air like a fish swimming in water. Whenever we camp, I always have Rosyuk keep an eye on the place. It has the order to eliminate any demon or monster that approaches us. It is the only way to sleep without worrying that something horrible will happen to us. However, I have been in the habit of not being able to sleep when camping for many years now, and even knowing that I can sleep safely, it is impossible for me. 8 Tildes report. Experience saving has been repaired. Oh, so it's finally fixed. But I don't like the idea of this ability sucking all my experience back in. The experience saving ability had been active since I was a baby. In other words, it took 25 years for the ability to break down. How long will it take for it to break again? Will it be 30 years from now, or will it not break until I die? After all, the skills level limit is broken, and now I have to raise it to 50. Well, I'm happy with LVL 300, so it doesn't really matter. No, Master, don't abandon me. Kid continues to hold out her hand with a pained look on her face. It seems to be a terrible dream. I walked over to her and patted her on the head. Master, I'm glad that you're here. Relax, I'm not going anywhere. I smiled to reassure her. Please help me. That was the last thing she said before she began to breathe more calmly as she slept. Perhaps she is remembering the days when she was a slave. I will be here with you, so you can sleep easy. I stroked her head once more. Oh yeah. Frau was using her hammer to get rid of some goblins. From there, she spun around at high speed and knocked a group of goblins to the ground. She perched on a tree branch and made a satisfied face. I'm pretty good at what I do. I'm sure you've noticed, Lord. But I hadn't doubted your abilities. No, you thought I was too small and cute to fight. Even Kid was worried that I couldn't make it. I'm sorry. When Kid lowered her head, I immediately apologized to Frau as well. I'm sorry, I really did underestimate you. And I wasn't saying it because of your size. It's just that you have a very low level. On the other hand, Frau's high-speed flying more than made up for her low level. Even goblin riders who boasted of their speed believed they were capable of winning only to be beaten. If she can raise her level a lot, there is no doubt that she could be very powerful. Hey, I'm already level 35. That's because of my ability. It seems to grant the group an experience doubling effect. What is that? Is that a cheat ability? I think so. But it's something that can't be helped. Frau smiles faintly and closes her right hand tightly, saying, the power is boiling inside me. I am sure she will continue to raise her level higher and higher. It will be interesting to see how a high-level fairy fights. Well, I'm going to level up as fast as I can. Hey, wait. Frau disappears alone in the forest. You are supposed to guide us until we reach the village. I don't know how to get there without you. I think it's better to wait. I'd like to take a break while I drink a cup of tea. A small shadow jumps out of the bushes. I quickly used my armor to block the attack. Human, how dare you interrupt Papau's attack? In the air was a tiny old man who was a little older than Frau. On his back were a set of wings, the mark of a fairy. In his right hand, he held a one-handed sword that reflected a glowing light. Papau's attack didn't work. We'll have to attack all at once. The fairymen flew out of the forest one after another. Some of them were women, and in all, nearly 50 fairies flew freely through the air. What do we do, Master? We can't attack them. They're probably fairies from Frau's village. It is true that they move fast, but not so fast that you can't see them. And I dodge the attacks and wait for Frau to return. Hey, this human defense is solid. If we don't do something, they will know where our village is. I've got a trick up my sleeve. Let's use wide area magic. We have no choice. The fairies fly up to the sky and create a huge magic circle. It appears to be a wide area type attack magic made by several people. A direct hit would blow up this entire area. Is Frau here yet? She must be too busy leveling up to realize the situation. We cannot wait any longer. I have to stop them immediately. I'm going to have to give that little girl a lecture later. Frau, this is an order. Come back now. My voice echoes throughout the place with a highly overpowering tone. Something was approaching at tremendous speed, breaking through the tree line. The fairies took notice of it and stopped moving. A large tree broke in half and collapsed. At the other end was Frau holding the hammer. The atmosphere is unusual. She stared at the other fairies, her gaze deadly. How dare you try to kill my lord while Frau is absent? Frau? You are Frau? The man who called himself Papau approached, stunned. HMPH. The hammer shot out and hit Papau in the face with full force. The man you see there is Doru of the great race of dragons. I, Frau, am his faithful slave. What you have done is unbecoming of the fairy race. The fairies flapped their wings and descended to the ground to kneel. I didn't know you were of the great race we adore. Please forgive me for being so rude. An elderly man who appeared to be the leader of the group ducked his head. With those words, all the fairies bowed their heads. This is very uncomfortable. This transition from human to dragonoid is still not being processed by my brain. Frau, who was on top of a panther, approached us and also knelt down. You should feel ashamed, too. If Frau had not returned in time, we would have had a mess on our hands here. You should obey your lord more and not go off alone while leaving us behind, I said, after tapping her on the shoulder, while smiling coldly at her. We'll talk later. Frau looked at me while shaking like a rattle. The fairies guided us as we walked through the forest. Ahead of me, Frau was flying depressed as if she had lost a war. Did I scold her too much? No, if anything, you're being too kind. If she hadn't left in the first place, none of that would have happened. Kd is very upset. The wrinkles between her brows and the aura of anger made that feeling clear. I understand how Kd feels, but I can also understand Frau's feelings. She wants to look good in front of her friends, and she wants us to trust her as soon as possible. It's natural when someone new joins a party. My case was the same when Sane invited me to join his party. No one wants to be a burden. Frau is sorry too, so don't blame her too much. Everyone makes mistakes in the beginning. You're right. I'm sorry. You have nothing to apologize for, Master. When I stroked her head, her eyes lit up. She must have been angry because she was thinking of me. That feeling alone is enough for me, because I want my lovely slave to always have a smile on her face. I failed this time, but I'll do my job next time. Kaiyui. Frau approaches with Panda and says these words while clenching her fists. So I deserve to be petted too. Kaiyui, you are insistent. I reach out my right hand and rub my finger on Frau's head. Panda also rubbed his body against my right hand as if to say me too. Me too. I don't know how to say it, but he's as cute as a puppy. Suddenly, an elderly fairy descends from above. We are about to reach the village. Thank you for guiding us. No, it is a tremendous honor to have a great man in our village. We hope you enjoy your stay in our fairy paradise. The group came to a sudden halt. It was a place lined with huge stones. Unknown letters are engraved on the stone. Except for that, the rest of the forest appears to be normal. No, I'm wrong. Everything feels strange. The Grand Thief skill picked up something unnatural in my surroundings. I'm not sure what it is, but the road ahead is clearly different from the one we have traveled. Swoosh. The fairy who crossed the rock disappeared. Hey, where'd he go? He just crossed the barrier. The old man also disappeared as he crossed the rock. To be honest, I was a little scared to cross that rock, so I ran towards it. Oh. Suddenly I appeared in a place full of flowers. The wind blew and the petals danced. When I looked back, I saw that the forest had been blocked by a huge boulder. So this place is like a closet? They must be hiding this place with some kind of illusion. Now I understand why it is so difficult to find the fairies. The hiding place is not that big. In the distance there were some village-like structures in the middle of the colorful flower fields. The road leading to the village is perfectly fenced and the cows graze inside. It seems that this place was once inhabited by humans. Please drink. It's tea. Thank you. An old man offers me a cup of tea and I take a sip. It had a strong floral aroma and was fresh and delicious. It had a unique flavor, different from black tea. You seem to have loved it. I have been told that this old man is the village chief. He is also Frau's grandfather. I turned my gaze to him. To him was Papau, white-eyed and staring at the ceiling after the blow Frau landed on him. How long do you plan to stay asleep? Papow! Ah! The chief punched him mercilessly in the face. Papow still didn't regain consciousness after that blow, so he kept doing it over and over again. I don't think it's good to wake him up rudely. Don't worry, this guy is tough. Pank 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 pank. Eh? You're finally awake, Papow. What is this place? It's our home. As soon as he sees me, Papow draws his sword. Frau instantly broke his sword with her hammer, and the chief put an axe to his neck. Sweat drips from Papow's stiff forehead. I begin to feel sorry for him. Father, Frau, why are you protecting this human? Fool. He is Lord Toru, master of the great dragon race. I am very disappointed in you, Father. I can't believe you pointed the sword twice at the Lord. The great race of dragons? Papow prostrates at a speed that goes unnoticed. I was not able to follow his movements, even with my level 300 eyes. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I'm not angry. Please raise your head. Thank you so much for your mercy. It is still uncomfortable. I'm not even that amazing, I think. I simply raised my level exorbitantly and now I happen to be of the dragon race. You should feel disappointed. The village chief and Frau scold Papow. I think we'd better get along as well as possible with Papow. Well, back to the main topic. Papow is silent as he emits a gloomy aura next to the chief. It's very hard to ignore, but neither the chief nor Frau seem to mind. Let's listen to the main topic for the moment. Our village is in a critical situation. We had no choice but to seek help outside the village. But your people are not known to associate with humans. Exactly. So we contacted the elves, with whom we had a relatively good relationship, but they said only an ancient species could stop it. The chief made eye contact with Frau. She nodded and began to speak. For this reason I went out to look for a member of the great race. I searched for you for over a year. I was beginning to think I would never find you, and at the time I was captured by a human to be sold. But I was lucky enough to find you in the most unexpected place. Was there such a reason behind it? If I hadn't gone to that place that day, we would never have met. After all, if it weren't for Count Trone and his plan to defeat the Queen of the Death Ants, save the royal capital and get the recommendation to attend the auction, Frau wouldn't be here, and neither would we. Although, there is something that has me very intrigued. Why Frau, though? For what reason was she specifically chosen to find me? I am a shrine priestess who can send prayers to the great race. Only those who have dragon blood can hear such prayers. I couldn't think of anyone better. Frau puffed out her flat chest. She has a look of satisfaction as if to say I did it. It became clear to me when I heard the explanation. Was that prayer voice a special ability of the priestess or something? I thought I could hear all the fairies' prayers. So what kind of crisis is it? I think it would be easier if you could see it with your own eyes. The chief led us out of his house. Gigagi gigagi, an unpleasant screeching of metal sounds. Occasionally, disturbing sounds could also be heard coming from several large trees. That's what's going to destroy this village. The chief pointed to a dull-colored metal dummy. It is about 5 meters high and each of its parts looks like a block joined together, giving the impression of being an intimidating and robust metal doll. I've seen these things before. Isn't that a golem? This is no ordinary golem like those made by humans. This is an original golem left by a great race, a monster of unmatched power and defense. The original golem has thick layers of ivy on it with vines and branches sticking out which tether it to the surrounding large trees. Every time it yanks at the vines, the trees scream and rustle. Normally, golems created by alchemists are loyal to orders. They do not harm people, and they do not rewrite orders at their discretion. I wonder, under what orders is this golem acting? Where did this big boy come from? He had been sleeping in the nearby ruins. We weren't sure what to do with it. We managed to tie him up here, but he's too sturdy to be destroyed. I tried to approach the golem. The red-tinted eyes turned blue as soon as he saw me, but they quickly changed to red again. The golem shuddered minutely, emitting a sound of laughter. It appears to be broken. Somehow it feels that way. What do you think, Toru-sama? You can call me Toru. That's ridiculous. Toru-sama is of the great race we worship. It's unthinkable to do something like that. We all want to be slaves like Frau and call him Lord. Absolutely not. I called out to Kid who was a meter away from me. What can I do for you, Master? I don't think it will obey my orders. so it will have to be destroyed. I drew the sacred sword. Will I be able to do it? The opponent is created by the same beings as the sacred sword. I may not be able to cut it. This is a headache. It is not in my nature to think things through before I do them. You should think about these things when we are out of options. Ha! The blade pierced it without resistance, as if cutting through a tomato. The golem split in two and fell to the ground. I think I should not doubt my level and strength. I could not draw the sacred sword, so I returned to my homeland, Basel. The courtroom is silent. I ducked my head and bit my teeth in frustration. I'm asking you again. You say you couldn't obtain the sacred sword? Yes, I'm afraid so. And then someone took Carmen's sacred weapon before you could, and you came back to this country with nothing to show for it? Why yes. I heard a loud sigh. It was obvious that disappointment was in the air. The king's disappointment is great because his expectations were high. My body trembles with anger. This happened because of the Maniou Brigade, which continued to steal my credit. I should have been the one to receive all that praise, to the point where I got tired of it. However, the reality is different. I don't want to lower my head in front of a bunch of weak, stupid morons. If I could, I would kill them all, right here and now. Your Majesty, can't you give me one more chance? Maybe I was just incompatible with Gridget's sacred weapon. That is possible. In the past, someone who couldn't get the sacred weapon from one temple, succeeded in a different one. That's okay. You can go get the other sacred weapon. The nearest one is in Chancellor. It's at North Star, Your Highness. Hearing that, a smile broke out on my face. North Star is a small country in the middle of nowhere with higher temperatures and humidity than here, right? Moreover, it is under the umbrella of a major power antagonistic to Basel. Now that the Demon King has appeared, we're cooperating with them somewhat, but it probably doesn't look good. But I can't speak of this story. Now that the royal family's trust in me is being shaken, the first thing I must do is to regain it. I have to get the sacred sword at all costs and make myself a hero. I have learned that the race of demons are hiding there, and they are wreaking havoc in the country. So I order you to kill them all, as you command. I had no choice but to accept it in silence. I traveled south through Bars, and we finally arrived at North Star. In fact, I wanted to see Toru's wretched figure before I started my journey, but I couldn't say so. If I don't recover here, I will be the most useless hero in history. And even if I defeated the Demon King, the recognition I would receive would be very poor. My magic eye is not all-powerful either. The subject must be of the opposite sex only, and must be of a lower level than mine. In addition, if an antidote is used, the effect is lost and the spell cannot be cast on the subject again. Not to mention that the effect diminishes with the passage of time. Although it is a wonderful power, it has its shortcomings, and this demonic eye of seduction is designated as a forbidden ability. In other words, it is a dangerous ability that makes you a target to be defeated just for possessing it. If I didn't have my stealth skills, I would have been sent to the execution block by now. Sane, I'm getting dizzy. Shut up. You're very annoying. These roads are worse than balls. It would have been better if Sane had pulled out the holy sword back at the temple. How Tilda. Lisa's sighs made my stress go through the roof. Every minute my patience is wearing thin with the complaints of these stupid women. I've been so frustrated lately that I haven't even had sex. I should have known it was too soon to get rid of Toru. He was a nuisance, but he took the initiative and took care of us. He kept the balance in the party by consulting every decision with me. Most importantly, he was the best partner I could have to make me feel superior. If I had known things would be like this, I would have first gotten the sacred sword, given him some of the credit and then thrown him out. The carriage was swaying all the time. Hey, how far is it to the temple? We're almost there. This place is very far away. We would have gotten there faster walking. Who was the idiot who thought of coming by carriage? Damn it. It was me. Sir, we're about to arrive in the city. Shall we stop by in case you want to buy something? Yes. We need to eat. The gluttonous exclaimed at the top of her lungs without consulting us first. Ah, what an annoying woman you are. Just being near you depresses me. The carriage entered the city and stopped at a suitable place. This place looks great. What do you say, Sane? I think it's okay. If you're hungry, I won't care. Oh, This place has a strange smell. We entered the restaurant and placed an order. Everything on the table were dishes I had never seen before. Insects fried in oil, a river fish with sharp fangs, roasted arm of something with 3 fingers, eyes floating in a red soup. Is this North Star's food? It's surprisingly good. This worm is crunchy. You is capable of eating anything. I lost my appetite when I saw chewing on those insects. It is decided. N will be the next to go. Sora and Lisa are eating bread and salad. I should have played it safe and ordered bread and salad as well. Why isn't Sane eating? However, I have no choice but to put up with it and eat it here. I'm a hero trying to make a name for myself in history. I can't be afraid of this kind of thing. This is the Temple of North Star. It still houses the sacred sword. What's wrong with Sane? Don't talk to me right now. My stomach has been upset for several hours. If I'm not careful, something inside me will come out, and it won't be anything good. But this is no time to get sick. I have something to do. I'm finally here, and there's something I want to check right away. I don't know if I will be able to pull out the sacred sword. No, I should be able to do it. This time I feel like I'm going to make it. I placed my hands on the door and pushed it. A broken bar, a broken bar, a broken bar, a broken bar. What is it? Sane, open the door. Are you nervous? Don't make a sound. I am concentrating. If I don't distribute my power properly, it could be catastrophic. All right, I'm ready. Let's do 70% in the hips and 30% with both hands. Go 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 go. The door opens smoothly. My force distribution was correct. I can do it. Once I have the sacred sword in my hands, I will leave here immediately. I walked down the hallway to the large room. There was a sacred sword nailed to the pedestal. Come on, Sane, you'll get it this time. You can do it. You're the hero. I walked slowly as the 3 girls were cheering me on. It was a long way to the pedestal. You are a hero. Don't let your emotions leak out. I'm getting there. Just a little more. It won't be long now until all this suffering is over. I managed to reach the pedestal and place my hands on the sword. What are you doing? Just get it out at once. I was making force but the sword did not come out. My stomach hurts so much. It feels unfair. Is something wrong with you, Sane? You have a lot of sweat on your forehead. Yes, your face is very pale. If you don't feel well, just say so. I can help you. Idiot, stop. And grabs my arm, and the sword came out with a jerk. As soon as the sacred sword was pulled out, a large amount of something else also came out. Poop. Suddenly, everything felt right. My mind went completely blank. I drank the sweet, smooth sake in one gulp. The honey sake specially brewed by the fairy tribe tasted even better than I expected. I didn't expect it to be so sweet. Yes, it feels good on the palate. Yes, this is the pride of the fairies. My lord, drink more. Drink until our cellar is empty. Come on, come on. I'm not going to drink that much, but thank you. Amber-colored sake poured into a glass is also a visual treat in itself. Nearby, the fairies were chatting and enjoying food and sake. This is the largest tavern in the village. On a nearby stage, the fairies performed a welcoming dance. There are many rare dishes on the table. A slightly spicy vegetable and veal soup, thin skins wrapped with ingredients and fried cakes drizzled with honey. This is the dish Frau likes. It's really good. After chewing the cake, it exhales happily. That much? I'm curious. I'll try one. Disgusting. Ha ha ha, the Lord doesn't like sweets. Frau looks me in the face and laughs. It is 10 times sweeter than I imagined. It is still rich and sweet in my mouth. Taru-sama, may I pour you a drink? Oh, yes, please. Frau's father, Papau, was giving me a drink. He is much nicer now than when we first met. He must feel very remorseful. What do you think of my daughter, Lord? She is still a recent member of our party, so I can't give her a proper rating. But she's good at exploration and I'm sure I'll be able to count on her for battles once she levels up, so I have high hopes for her. You have high hopes for Frau? By the way, you, as a father, don't you feel angry that your daughter is my slave? I'm asking if I should release Frau from slavery. Frau herself refused that proposal. Her father, however, might have a different idea. If her father flatly refuses, we will properly discuss cancelling the contract. What are you talking about? We fairies are servants of the great race, and we only show our true worth to those we serve. You are free to use my daughter to satisfy your every desire. Hey, Papao-san, father, do not shame me before the Lord. Frau became angry at the same time as her face turned red. This situation makes me a little uncomfortable. I decided to go for a walk. I like to drink while looking at the stars. The night sky is beautiful tonight. And I have the most delicious honey wine in my hand. I feel very satisfied. Master card comes to my side. It looks like you're uncomfortable. Once again, you notice everything. I'm always watching you. Seems to have seen through me. In fact, I was getting uncomfortable, but not necessarily because of the things the fairies were saying or doing. When I look at Frau's family, I remember my dead father and mother. May I know why they died? When I was 15, I left home in the morning. I don't remember exactly what I did that day, but when I came back, I found the two of them lying on the floor, dead, with their bodies bled out. That's all I know. Gd was silent. Everyone in town said it was a thief who killed them. I thought so too. My family was one of the wealthiest people in town, so that's probably why they were attacked. I had no one else besides my parents, and from that day on I had to live alone. Of course, even though I was alone, the townspeople took care of me in many ways. We had fields and lots of cattle, so I managed to survive somehow. Lisa was so supportive that I decided to live for her, and I wanted to support her always. She's the woman who abandoned the master? Yes, but it doesn't matter now. She's happy with Sane now. I can't deny that it was a shock for me that she broke up with me like that. Maybe I wasn't good enough for her. Tears spilled from my eyes and slid down my cheek. It hugged me without saying anything. There is still a big hole in my heart. The next day, we decided to investigate the golem we had defeated. The inside of the golem is a mess. It's like a living thing but fake. The cross-section of the golem cut in half is covered by a cord-like structure resembling blood vessels. In addition, there are multiple mysterious spheres of various sizes, which are biological and really grotesque. I have heard that the alchemists modeled their golems after the originals, but this way I can understand that it is only the front part that resembles the original. Once again, the Great Race seems to have built an unimaginably advanced civilization. Where are the ruins this big boy was located in? Frau will guide you. Follow me. Frau, who was sitting on top of Panda, moves forward. A few meters beyond the forest you can see the structures of some ruins. All that remained of them were walls and a pile of rubble. There are several golems moving about. I see, so there are more of them that woke up. Assess the area and look for any artifacts that might be controlling them. Yes, my lord. What would you have Frau do? How about raising your level some more? I was waiting for you to say that. Frau flew off and got lost in the forest. Her current level is 45. This forest is home to monsters with very high levels, so she should reach level 100 faster than expected. I called Rosyuk from the seal. Rosyuk, go and support Frau. Shia. Rosyuk flew off at high speed behind Frau. Well, let's go explore the ruins. I will be very lucky if I find treasure. Although if we don't find any, it will still be a good experience to explore this place. Well, the Grand Thief's Guild didn't detect anything, so it looks like there's no treasure. Master, here's a door. When I ran to I saw what looked like a square door on the floor. There were multiple golems stacked on top of each other to hide it. We pushed the golems aside and I opened the door. The door opened effortlessly. There were stairs leading down to the back of the place. What are we going to do? We go down, of course. I went down the stairs first, and Panda trailing behind. Created an orb of light and we carefully descended the stairs. The walls are made of rock, which gives the impression that they were built in a hurry. We reached the bottom of the stairs and stepped onto the ground. From there, a long passage continued to the back. How far does it go? There appears to be no sign of living creatures. A blue light filtered in from down the hall. We continued on and came upon an open space. There, a large, complex magic circle glowed blue. Maybe this is. Do you know what this is? Maybe it's a magic transfer circle. I've seen something like it before. I don't understand it at all. The magic circle is full of unfamiliar letters and symbols, and though I try to recognize them, my mind refuses and my eyes slip. I've always been bad at things related to magic, but seeing something like this makes me feel even worse. Why is this magic circle in operation? Normally it wouldn't work without magic power. I think it's in the magic vein. In other words, it's a big stream of magical power underground. I see. I had never heard of magic veins. I think Lisa had explained it to me a long time ago. Well, I've heard a lot of things related to magic, but I usually forget them soon after hearing them. Anyway, I would like to know Kid's conclusion. So, if I get on top of this thing, will it take me to the other end where the other magic circle is? I don't know exactly. But considering that it is working, its counterpart, the other magic circle, must also be working. Maybe there is a possibility that it is, as you say, destination and function unknown. But it can be used. It is a bad idea to use this magic circle. But then again, my adventurous spirit begs me to do so. Maybe it will take me to a place where there are tons of treasures. Maybe it will take me to a place where no one has ever been. But it may also lead me to a place that I might regret going to. I started this journey because I wanted to explore the world and find new things. Wouldn't you like to see where this magic circle leads? I'll go wherever my master goes. I have decided. My next destination is the other end of this magic circle. I kept looking at the sacred sword in my room in the inn. The smile on my face does not disappear. Finally, I was able to obtain the sacred weapon I had been seeking for so long. I have been waiting for this day for a long time. From the day I was told I would be the hero, I was thinking about getting the sacred sword. Now all that is required is to perform heroic and magnificent feats. If I can do that, I will make a name for myself in history. However, I cannot take any of this lightly. The hero's job is to defeat the Demon King. In the past many heroes were defeated trying to kill him in the past. In order for me to achieve such a feat, my level must be at least 100. That and a partner in. I looked at the three girls in the room. A fighter, Sarara, a priest, and Lisa, a mage. All of them are level 40. I'm beginning to doubt their usefulness in this party. In the past, most of the members who were in the heroes party also received this title. Sometimes they were granted at the beginning, or sometimes they were granted at the end, after having defeated the Demon King. If you are not good enough, you die, and you can even be replaced. Choosing the right partners is essential. I don't want to have anyone who is a hindrance in my party, nor do I want any others that make me feel uncomfortable. The race of demons are on the prowl in this city. When are we going to defeat them? Will I be able to win with my current level? I feel it's not too late to train some more. Hey, Sora, we can't afford to be complacent. People live in fear of being attacked at any moment. You've seen them out there. True, but it won't do any good if we die. Sora is in the party for her healing abilities, but sometimes her character and way of thinking drags this party down. It is too frustrating. There is no way for a high-level enemy to come out fighting so easily. They are always small demons of level 20 or 30 at most. Zuzan. The building began to shake badly. What is this tremor? Sane. There are people running outside. I think we are under attack. We left the lodge and headed to the source of the tremor. You are free to do whatever you want. Kill all the men and bring all the beautiful women you find, but don't forget to gather money and food. A giant demon was giving instructions to the demonic soldiers. More than 100 demonic soldiers were entering the city from the destroyed outer wall. They mercilessly attacked the fleeing inhabitants. They were supposed to be hiding. So why'd they have to attack now all of a sudden? Doubt rises in my head, but I push it to the corner of my mind, realizing that it is of no importance. A wonderful situation to impose myself as a hero came to me. Get ready to fight. I'll take care of that big guy. Understood. Shouldn't we prioritize evacuating residents? If we defeat the leader, everyone else will retreat. Let the residents fend for themselves. But Sora is once again showing signs of rebellion. Don't you dare contradict me in a situation like this. Shut up. I don't care how many people die. You have only one task, and that is to obey me. Alright. Sora's face turns blue as she shudders. I hope I don't get frustrated again. This is as far as they've come. Damn it. Flame blast. Lisa's fire magic strikes a group of demons. The large demon was engulfed in flames as well. However, he has too high a level, so he won't die with that attack. I rushed towards him and swung my sword at the same time. With a sharp sound, the blade was blocked by something. Did you think you could beat me with an attack as weak as that? How did you? The flames went out and I could see that the big guy had an axe in his hand. The sacred sword was easily blocked by an axe. I evaluated his stats and realized he was level 150. He was not someone with a lot of skills, but he more than made up for it with his overwhelming skill level. In addition, I felt a freezing sensation in my back. He is probably far superior to me in combat techniques. Who is this guy? Why is this guy in a place like this? The demon looks at me and squints. Are you the new chosen hero? So what if I am? You're not that scary. I have orders from the Demon King to have some fun when I meet the hero, so I don't plan to kill you here. My sword was snatched from my hands and his fierce left fist slammed into my empty abdomen. Ugh! My legs gave out due to the strong blow I received and an intense pain follows. I exhaled while spitting up blood. It was the first time in my life that I received such damage. He grabbed me by the hair and forced me to look at him. It would be very easy to finish you off, don't you think? Eliminate you from this world with a single blow. Please don't. Don't kill me. Bhahahaha. You're scared. What level are you? 63. Really? You challenged a level 150. With such a weak level? You're definitely the hero. Hey, guys. Don't you think so too? The demon soldiers behind the leader laugh. I was humiliated like never before. If I had known he was level 150, I wouldn't fight. I would have quietly left this city. Don't laugh at me. I swear I will kill you. Sane, I'm going to help you. Lisa's fire magic hits the leader directly in the face. The leader dropped me and jumped in the air to hit him. But he doesn't even move muscle and brings his fist to his forehead. Not yet. And spins in the air to kick him in his neck. The big man, after receiving both blows, still did not move. He was as heavy as a rock. This is my chance. I'll let him fight with him while we escape. Stop. Hey, Sane. Are you willing to leave N lying here? You must help her. She's one of our most precious friends. I can't die in a place like this. I am the hero. I am the one chosen to defeat the Demon King and save the world. Both Lisa and Sora are silent. It is a natural reaction, because what I say is the truth. Our lives are not worth the same. She may die here, but I have to survive. Get out of here. I'll take care of this. You finally get it. You have a beautiful face and a nice body. But the truth is, I'm tired of you already, so stay and die so we can live. Sane. I will leave and go with Lisa and Sora. Damn, I never expected to lose one of my toys in a place like this. On the bright side, I'll finally be rid of that nuisance. But on the other hand, now I have to find a new toy who is willing to die for me if necessary. My next partner will be a stronger, more submissive woman. For that, I have to raise my level. My greatest pleasure is to take away something that belongs to someone else. Jaya. The moment we left the city, we heard N scream. Ugh. I can't believe we abandoned her. Don't get depressed. What she did was a noble sacrifice. We have a bigger problem. We were unable to comply with the king's request. Wait. Is this really a problem? No. This is the responsibility of the country that did not tell us there were level 150 enemies. Rather, I am a victim. I was about to die. In addition, I lost one of my friends. It is the country and the king that are to blame, not me. Let's go back to the country and ask for another job that is easier to get. Let's go back to the country. Alright. My legend is only just beginning. My life is in danger right now. Please stay in the village a little longer. Toru-sama. Toru-sama. Stay here forever. We won't give you any trouble. Stay here for about 30 years. Please. The fairies are clinging to my legs and arms. I'm sure this looks really bad. Even if I try to move forward, the rest of the fairies prostrate themselves in front of me to prevent me from doing so. Men and women, young and old, were shedding tears for me. Shut up. Have you forgotten that you are the servants of the great dragon race? Frau shouted at the top of her lungs. She was sitting on top of Panda nearby, looking intently at all the fairies. The townspeople had a surprised expression on their faces. If you are a proud servant, say goodbye to your master with devotion. That way you can be certain that your master will return and you will be waiting for him. Oh Frau, you have become so mature and strong in such a short time. My granddaughter is right. We must see our master off as he deserves. After the village chief's words, all the fairies let go of me. Thank you, Frau. Had the situation worsened, I would have had to use my strength. I have to admit, I underestimated the fairies' sense of loyalty. The fairies were willing to make me live here forever if I didn't tell them I was leaving. Just thinking about it, I can't help but break out in a cold sweat. I'll be back soon. I gave a final nod to the villagers and we left. The fairies did not stop and kept waving their hands and shouting my name. We returned to the magic circle we had found. I made a final reflection. I don't know what will be waiting for us on the other side. It could be underwater, or underground in some cave, which is even worse. To be on the safe side, I put Panda and Frau in the backpack. I made Kid hug me and not let go no matter what. Once we took the necessary precautions, all that remained was to jump into the magic circle. Let's go. Yes, I'm ready. Caillou. We jump into the magic circle. With the momentum of the dive, we landed outside the magic circle. The transfer was momentary. I don't feel like I've jumped at all. In fact, I feel like I haven't moved. Even though I felt like nothing happened, the setting we were in was totally different. We are in a place sealed by rubble, keeping only the space with the magic circle exposed. We are probably inside a building that was collapsed. Master, the wind is blowing in from that gap. When I put my hand over what looked like a hole, the wind was certainly blowing. There is definitely something on the other side. I make a hole bigger by forcefully extending my finger around it. Frau, can you see what's on the other side? Sure. I think I can get through here. Please do. I could punch through the wall with my strength, but that could make the whole place collapse. It is safer for Frau to destroy the wall with her hammer after checking the outside of the debris. Oh, this is very tight. Frau's panties were exposed to view and hurried to cover my eyes. Kid's act of covering my eyes was slow. I have perfectly seen the striped underwear Frau has. On the other side, Frau shouts there's a hallway. Boo! Without warning, she smashed through a portion of the wall with her hammer. Cough cough, there's a lot of dust here. Yes, thanks to you breaking the wall. It was so that my lord could leave. Frau smiles and places her hand on her waist. I don't think she's noticed that she's covered from head to toe in dust. Having her join us was definitely the best decision I could have made. We have to be cautious from now on. The corridor is still quite narrow due to the piles of debris. We continue to move forward, going through the gaps. I found a way out. Frau had gone ahead to scout the site, and returned with good news. Perfect. So this place is in the outside world and is not a subterranean construction. This will save us a lot of headaches. Look, there it is. The end of the corridor was blocked by a huge boulder. As she mentioned, there was a small light shining through a tiny space. After all, I won't be able to get out of here without breaking something. If I do it too hard, everything can collapse. I have to destroy this rock with the least amount of force. I unsheathed my great sword. Both of you, move away. I focused my gaze on the rock and controlled my breathing. Then I invoked the power of the Dragon Knight. This ability allows me to identify the weaknesses of objects, animals or people very accurately. I can see the fragile points of the rock thanks to my dragon eyes. Like a knife slicing through butter, my sword slid through the rock silently causing it to split in two. Pishy 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 pishy. The rock collapsed and a path appeared before us. Master, that was amazing. How did you do that? Even Frau's eyes couldn't catch up. Frau speaks in third person. Caillou. I put the sword back in its sheath. It's a technique that doesn't have a name yet. Let's move forward. We left the dark corridor. The corridor led us into a forest. The temperature and humidity are higher than in the fairy village. What's that? It's black smoke. It may be a fire. Frau, who records the surroundings from the sky, points in a certain direction. It also sniffed a little. It definitely smells like burning. There's also a smell of blood and burnt flesh. Was that a scream? We must move fast. Frau, Show us the way. Got it. Follow me. I started running after Frucht and Panda were behind me. If there is a battle, Panda won't do much good. I will send Rosyuk. Panda, come back. Rosyuk, go out and fly. Shia. Rosyuk comes out of my arm and immediately goes into combat mode. His speed of movement was much faster than Panda's, and he stepped in front of me. Master, look at that. The corpse of a man lay on the ground. There were many of them lying dead. The corpse of a demon was also lying near the site. Is anyone alive? No. Let's hurry. No doubt demons are attacking this place. The black smoke must be coming from a town or city. I began to hear screams in the distance. Rosyuk, kill all the demons you can see. Shia. We have arrived too late. There was blood and human corpses all over the place. The scene was tragic. The buildings were destroyed and the demons laughed with the gold they collected in their hands. Some of them even enjoyed licking the corpses. The anger inside me made my blood boil. Blossom Blizzard. Wrecking Hammer. A large hammer smashed the frozen demons. I was able to calm my anger a bit after that. I was behind my two companions watching the situation. Master, let's hurry to save the survivors. Just give me an order. Frau will blow everyone to pieces. That's right. There is still time. We can help the survivors. We'll split up so we can cover more of the place. You go that way, and Frau, you go the other way. I'll go to the center and get rid of all the demons I can find. Okay. Each of the two took the corresponding direction, and I went straight to the center. There has to be a leader somewhere who is commanding this attack. If I succeed in defeating him, all the subordinates will begin to withdraw. Get out of the way. I was killing every demon in my line of sight. The place was turning into the river of blood. In the center of the city, there was a large demon holding a bloody woman in one hand. Is that all? I had high hopes for you, since you are a valuable member of the heroes party. But I must say I am very disappointed. Ugh. You are also very unlucky. Your hero was just using you as a mere pawn. The demon was very large. He must have been about 10 feet tall. His huge, toned body could be seen with his striated muscles and veins marking his entire arm. Two long, thick horns grow from the head, and the appearance is intimidating in combination with a cruel expression. This guy, he must be pretty strong. He is a higher level than the other demon leaders I've fought before. As I got closer, I could see exactly who the bloody woman was that the demon was holding with one hand. When I saw her, I felt as if my heart had been ripped out of my chest. That woman is a fighter of the party White Fang that is led by Sane. Besides that, she is my former childhood friend. From a young age she has been a free-spirited girl, and I have always treated her the same way I treat everyone regardless of gender. We were very good friends, but at one point, she distanced herself from me for some reason. I remember well that when I was depressed, she would laugh and cheer me up in her own way. She was concerned that I was a burden, so he constantly took the time to train me and teach me how to fight. Even when I wondered if I should confess my feelings to Lisa, she told me, be a man and go for it. Even after the way we parted and all the things we've been through, I can't erase those good memories. N was the soul of the party. She will always have a special place for me in my memories. Dharma, here comes another potential opponent. Apparently the fun doesn't end here. I hope these people do better than that pathetic hero. Take care of him. Hey. Approximately 10 demon soldiers drew their swords. Behind them, the man named Dharm threw away like garbage. Probably because his interest in me was greater than killing. I am boiling with anger. Where did Sane go? Why wasn't fighting alone? Why didn't he help her? I thought N was your girlfriend, Sane. Hey, human. All the demons surrounded me and thrust their swords at me almost simultaneously. I made no move. Shit. Why can't I get through it? This guy is incredibly tough. The blade of my sword bounced. Dharma. This guy is not like the others. In the blink of an eye, I swung the blade of my sword and killed half of the demons that were attacking me. I am not interested in you. I want the big boy's head back there. Well, I see you've passed level 100, and judging by your bracelet, you seem to be the person who's been given the title of hero. Do you obey the Demon King's orders? Exactly. I am Dharm, one of the 6 generals of the demon army. In other words, He has the same level as the other demon general I killed. But why is the general of the demon race in this place? I have a lot of questions, and they have the answers. Do you wonder why someone like me is in this place? It's a simple answer. I want to see blood. I want to tear the flesh of humans, to shake my eardrums with their screams of pain. Don't you think it's unfair that only my men can enjoy such pleasures? Don't expect me to agree with you. Oh, yeah, right. I hadn't thought of that. Dom pulled out a huge axe he had at his waist. It was reddish purple all over, and in the center of the sword's blade, something resembling a heart was beating repeatedly with a loud sound. Perhaps it is a demonic weapon that counteracts the powers of the holy sword. The battle between me and him begins in the blink of an eye. Fanutsu. The demon general flies at breakneck speed while swinging his axe back and forth. I block his attacks with the holy sword. Each strike causes shockwaves generated by our force which cause the nearby buildings to vibrate. This type of attack definitely exceeds level 100. Our weapons collide with each other and the sparks scatter with a high-pitched metallic sound. We continue to strike each other at point-blank range. You're very impressive, kid. Are you sure you're not the hero? Sorry, but I'm just a warrior. You're too strong to be a mere warrior. I'm level 150. I don't care about the numbers. My head is clear, but on the other hand, I feel a great anger simmering inside me. I will never forgive you for what you did. And I stepped forward and with one swift movement cut off his left arm. Blood splattered as his arm spun in the air. My arm. At what point did you? I don't know if you're a general, but you're too weak. Dom, with a look of hatred on his face, raised his axe. Deep freeze. With a snap, his right arm froze. Wrecking hammer. Frau's hammer slammed straight into Dom and hurled him into the rubble of a building. It landed on the roof of one of the buildings with her iron fans. Frau called for her hammer and rested on my shoulders while combing her hair. Sorry I'm late, Master. The evacuation of the civilians is over. Thank you both for your work. Dom emerged from the rubble and spat blood. He also tried to break the ice that had trapped his right arm. So you have partners. I'm not going to let you get away with this. I don't plan to run away from this. I will summon my magic armor. Something like a root stuck out from his right arm, seemingly originating from his axe. Slowly, thorns and scabs began to appear over his shoulder and arm. If that's the power of his axe, it's terrifying. I felt that his presence has become much stronger. I'll tell you something good. The magic axe temporarily increases the user's level by 30%. Isn't that great? Kyukaku. Given that your level was 150, a 30% increase is 195? This makes him a real threat. Fwish! I instantly closed the gap in our distance and cut his right arm from the shoulder. I appeared in front of him as if I had teleported. Dom's eyes widened before he experienced pain from having his arm severed. I used a silent sword strike that can be done with the simultaneous use of Grand Thief and Dragon Knight. Oh, I forgot to tell you something. I am level 300. You can't. Before he finished his sentence, I cut him in half. Deep down I wanted him to experience the same pain had suffered and then kill him. But I was starting to get impatient, so I decided to get it over with quickly. As high as my level is, I couldn't take my chances with a guy like that. Unfortunately, Dom's fighting style was far superior to mine. Those who are good at fighting are also good at running away. I thought it would be better to get it over with at once, rather than let him have a chance to run away. I placed my sword in the sheath and ran to say I ... This is no time to talk. Hold on. She is stunned by all the damage she received. Her condition is very delicate. If we do not treat her immediately, she might die. Panda. Kaiyui. I called Panda and pulled up on top of him. Panda's soft and squishy body will help not to suffer from sudden movements. I have to take her somewhere I can cure her. My recollection since I started carrying is vague. I found an uninhabited inn, put her to bed and then got her to drink a high-grade potion while I had to use her skills to stop the bleeding. The high-grade potion for physical recovery is very good. Unfortunately, it cannot heal torn limbs, but it can heal broken bones or damaged organs in seconds. However, it is only to force things back to their original shape. If the damaged parts do not receive immediate attention, the wounds could easily reopen. Greek. The doctor opened the door and left the room. After bowing slightly, he left the inn. It seems that the examination of Anne's body has been completed. How is she? It looks like the high-grade potion worked and she has no irreparable damage. But she needs to be on bed rest for a while. I see. I looked at Anne's face, still sleeping. The pain seems to have subsided, and her sleeping face looks calmer. I couldn't be more thankful that the potion brought Anne back from that terrible state. Hey you two, don't fight. Kayui, Shia, Panda and Rosyuk had a conflict inside the room, but Panda loses the encounter and hides behind Frau's back. If you are afraid, you should not have been looking for a fight. Master, come here for a moment. What's wrong? Leads me to a corner of the room. I guess she must have something important to tell me. I wonder if it's something Frau can't hear. I was evaluating San's stats, and I realized something. Exactly what's going on? Please remain calm and listen carefully to what I will tell you. Why so much mystery? Is it so difficult to explain her discovery? Inhaled and exhaled slowly. San is in a brainwashed state. What? There is something wrong with her condition. It is possible that her feelings and thoughts are being forcibly manipulated through magic or some kind of drug. I looked at her as she continued to sleep, but I couldn't gather my thoughts. Hasn't been brainwashed? Who brainwashed him? Only one name crosses my mind. No way, it's impossible. No matter how rotten he is, I don't think he would dare do something like that. I find it hard to believe that he would do that to one of our childhood friends that we grew up together with. But if this turns out to be true, I will kill Sane. I kept waiting for him to wake up. And Frau are sitting next to each other in the room. Panda had his eye closed and was floating in the air. Woke up. I immediately rushed to speak to her. Are you in any pain? Are you fully conscious? Toru? Yes, it's me, Toru. She looked around with lazy eyes. She stood up a little and sat on the bed. I was abandoned. Sane? Yes, he was about to die fighting against the demon general, so I rushed to his defense. Then he left and told me to die here. My fists were shaking. From one moment to the next my anger turned into a killer instinct. N was looking at me confusedly. Why are you dressed like that? Hey, maybe Sane can let you join the party again. Friends fight and break up, but there's always the option to come back. Sane brainwashed you. I see. Her reaction was totally unexpected. I thought she would try to deny the facts. She laughed a little and then became sad. This attitude is not normal. Being in a brainwashed state does not erase your past memories. There is an emotional conflict within her. I pulled my chair closer to the bed and sat down. I like Sane, but there's something wrong with my feelings, something wrong with my thoughts, and something much worse inside me. Before I liked someone else. Tears slid down her face. A drop had fallen on the ring on her right hand. I felt like my heart was going to break into 1,000 pieces. Seeing her again, a girl who was cheerful and full of energy, was crying in front of me. I have no doubt now that Sane brainwashed him. I never imagined that my once best friend would become human scum. And I'm also a nauseatingly obtuse idiot. I never realized all that was unfolding behind my back, even though I had the answer right in front of me. There is a way to break the brainwashing. I took a small bottle out of my pocket. This is a high-grade spell potion I found in the ruins. According to doctors, brainwashing is a kind of curse. Fortunately, I have a way to free her from it. However, the doctor also said, whenever you regain control of your thoughts and emotions, there will be repercussions. If your actions during brainwashing deviate too much from your original intentions, it can lead to collapse. Doing this comes with a great risk. But no matter what this situation looks like, I can't leave her in that state, so I will let her decide. Drink this and the brainwashing will stop. In return, you will suffer mental anguish, so I'll let you decide. If you don't want to do it, give it back to me. I want to give it some thought. After grabbing the bottle, lay down and turned her back to me. She wrapped herself from head to toe in the futon. I'll be in the next room. If you need me, call me. I left the room. Jaya. I woke up to a sudden scream. That scream was N's. I left my room and hurried quickly to N's room. Are you okay? N was in agony in bed. I held her face with both hands. Her back bent like a bow. Then she fell off the bed and squatted down. Fugi, Uji. It was a very hard situation to watch. She was scratching the floor with her fingernails. Her body kept shaking. At first I thought she was in agony of pain from the blows she received. But when I looked at the floor, there was an empty bottle rolling around nearby. San, don't give up. We are here with you. You are not alone. Kid casts healing magic on to relieve her mental pain. The screams of agony were diminishing. Toru, don't look at me. I'm dirty. You're not dirty. You're still the same old girl to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said horrible things to you. I've done horrible things. I betrayed my heart, my feelings. I did a lot to Toru. I'm an idiot. Sane brainwashed you. It wasn't something you did at your will. Don't think about that. Concentrate on getting out of that state. Frau and I will be here to support you. As I turned to leave the room, I heard the sound of metal clanging against the wall. Had taken off Sane's ring and thrown it away. After that I heard a loud scream. It's not a good idea for me to be around her right now, so I'll let her handle this situation on her own. When I left the inn, I sat down on a bench. I am amazed at the mental fortitude some people have despite everything that happened. Little by little the people who fled were returning to the site. Many people worked together to fix the buildings that were destroyed by the demons. Some looked depressed, but managed to try to smile. I would like to think that N is just as strong as those people. If she doesn't make it, I am willing to take care of her for the rest of my life. N is my childhood friend. She is a very nice girl. She has taken care of me more times than I can count, and it is because of her that I was able to stay at the party when I was a burden. She has been my savior. Hey, warrior. Oh, hi guys, how are you? Some children I had met in the last few days approached me. In the city they treat me as if I were a hero for having defeated the demons. No, actually, I am the real hero. I'm still not used to this. Thanks to this, I am able to rent a place for free, and the things I need for my daily life are given to me immediately when I ask for them. I was told that when the city is completely restored, they will create a stone statue resembling my image. Of course I refused, but the residents were so enthusiastic that I had no choice but to accept. Show me that again. Well, I'll do it. I pulled out my knife and the boy handed me a piece of firewood he had. The image of the red dragon I defeated earlier popped into my head. I carved the wood quickly and accurately, and it became a sculpture in a few seconds. The children were thrilled. After that, they started bringing me a lot of firewood. There was a great demand from the children who wanted me to make them a lot of things. The most popular statues I get requests for are Rosyukanked. Then there are the ones of Panda and Frau. Apparently I'm not very popular with the kids. What a pity. I got up and said goodbye to the children. I headed towards a group of men who were working. Hi. Can I help you with the job? You are the hero who saved the city. It grieves me that such a person is working with us. Don't worry about it. I'd like to keep my mind busy. So, can you bring the logs from the forest? Of course. The rest of the day was spent helping with construction work in the city. 3 days had passed and was able to get to the point where she could hold a decent conversation with me. However, if I mentioned anything that dredged up her memory, she would immediately apologize and become very depressed. Though thanks to Kid's skills, she seemed to be recovering, albeit slowly. Toru is kind. What's up with that? Looked tired as she said that. I feel that she has lost a lot of weight in the last few days. I know you're trying to help me, but that kindness really hurts. I went through the same thing when I was with you, too. I was a burden to the whole party. But you never gave up. Thanks to you I was able to stay. Your high expectations of me and your kindness weighed heavily on me. Made a puzzled face. Why that look? It makes me feel like I'm saying something weird. I'm sure you're right. Toru was trying his best, and in a way, he's like me. Exactly. You have to try and get over it. Let go of the fork. I'm thinking of returning to the village. Are you going to retire as an adventurer? Yes. My heart is broken. I'm tired of adventures, of falling in love and of life. I want a quiet life in the country with my mother and father. I was tired of life. I had a bad feeling when I heard those words. I hope you're not talking about committing suicide, are you? She is finally free from Sane's spell and I don't want it to end like this. Can I at least have the best memories at the end? She placed her hand on mine. At that moment I realized what she was thinking. He says he wants to return to the village, but the truth is that she is going to commit suicide on the way. Let's go. Huh? Wow! I grabbed her hand tightly and we left the inn. I went straight to the store of a slaver who was in town. I want to record a master-slave contract with this woman. What? You will return to the village. But as my slave, I will not let you take your life. You will live the rest of your life obeying me. That will be your punishment. A master-slave contract may be recorded with the consent of both parties, even if not a slave. High priority orders cannot be changed by themselves unless the master withdraws them. That's what that slave trader told me. I'm just going to go over the rules and make sure the brainwashing isn't still present. Okay. A middle-aged man sprayed a liquid on top of N's head. From what I have heard, there are drugs that confirm the brainwashed state. Once you put it in your body, if it reacts and glows pale pink, it is because the brainwashing is still at work. N's body did not glow. There are cases of brainwashing people to make master-slave contracts. Our business is shady, but we follow the rules to the letter. If we make a contract that is unethical, we reject it instantly. Is it really easy to brainwash someone? There are only a limited number of forms of brainwashing in such a short period of time that an abnormal condition occurs. The first is hypnotic magic, which is contraindicated. The second is a brainwashing drug, which is also contraindicated. Lastly, there's a skill known as the demonic eye of seduction. And sneezed. It looks like she's already coming down with a cold. I decided to cover her with my cape. I'm sorry, but I'm going to need you to stay a little longer. It is very necessary for me to listen to the words of this old man. Magic and medicine are strictly guarded in all countries, so basically you can't use them. The only thing left is the demonic eye of seduction, but that is extremely rare to manifest, and there are multiple conditions, but if you eliminate them, you can easily dominate the opposite sex. What would happen to me if I obtained such power? That would definitely result in imprisonment or execution. There was a time when whoever had that ability did whatever they wanted, and since then, whoever possesses it is treated as a criminal. After hearing these words, I have no doubt that Sane has this ability. If it were magic or medicine, I would have been brainwashed as well. First of all, I have never seen him use or see any indication that he had such a power. But there was another moment when that guy was unusually happy. This was before he was given the news that he could be the hero. That must have been when the notice of the demonic eye of seduction's manifestation appeared before him. Although, this is just speculation on my part. I have seen his stats, and I did not see this skill reflected. I'll need you to sell me some of those medicines you gave. Sure. But they're not cheap. I bought about 5 medicines and put them in my pocket. With this I will be able to confirm if Lisa and Sora have also been brainwashed by him. It has her appraisal ability, but it is impossible to identify brainwashing with it. Are you sure you want to make a master-slave contract? I don't want to do it. If you refuse to accept it, I won't force you. But only if you promise me you won't kill yourself, and I'll pretend we never talked about this. I can't make that promise. Maybe I'm going to end up doing it. Then let's sign the contract. I don't know. I just don't think it's right for me to be this happy after betraying you. Huh? What the hell is she talking about? Does she have brain damage? And covers her face with the hood of my cloak. Doing that would be a reward. So, she likes the idea of being a slave. Maybe I should have your head examined by a doctor. You are so insensitive. And smacks her fist against my abdomen. I'm not sure what's going on, but I don't think she turned down the contract proposal. Then I remembered something I had wanted to ask a slaver for a long time. I'd like to know something. Do master-slave contracts have any psychological impact? Number. So, once you sign the contract, it's automatically a slave? Number. Basically, there is a rule that people who don't have a collar are not treated as slaves. On the contrary, if you have the collar, it's a slave even if you don't have a contract. My theory is confirmed. I found out that G's feelings were not affected at all. It seems that her feelings for me are true. I feel like it will be hard to look her in the face now. Okay, let's get started. The master-slave contract with N was a success. Several days have passed. Most of the city has been rebuilt and the stores are full of people. From time to time, I saw a sign that said this place supports the Maniou Brigade. I was very embarrassed. My stone statue has not yet been built, but work is already underway. Arrangements are being made to start very soon. According to the plans, Kt and Frau will be on either side of me. I was asked to come on the day when the stone statue of the Maniou Brigade becomes a symbol of the city. I wouldn't want to come. I don't like the idea of standing out at all. But I have no choice. I'm ready now. N, who was carrying a backpack on her back, turns around and looks back. There is still sadness in her expression, but it is somewhat brighter than when she was released from brainwashing. I dare not ask what Sane did to her, because that would be the cruelest torture for her. Maybe I should let her commit suicide. But I don't have the courage to let the people I grew up with die in vain. No matter what happens, I want her to live. Well, let's walk you into town. It's all right. It will be better if I go alone. I'll ask you one more time, would you like to join us? I don't know what you're going through, but I think you'll find that being with us will help you more. Thank you, but it's better if I go back to town. I don't deserve to be by your side. And stares at Kt. They stared at each other for a few seconds and then bowed at the same time. Take good care of him. He's mean and insensitive, but he's someone very kind. I know. And he loves your breasts. Hey, don't say anything weird. It will have a negative effect on my tender and sweet Kt. Although I can't deny it. I do like her breasts. At least let me take you to the royal capital of Armand. I know a transport company that can get you to town safely. That sounds good. I don't feel safe saying goodbye to her like this. Even though the medicine has already taken effect and healed her wounds, I am not completely at ease. It's Frau's turn to shine. A question mark appears in my head. Is there anything Frau can be helpful with in this situation? Frau can use her fairy dust, so can reach Armand in one day by flying. Oh, that's right. Huh, I can't believe the Lord forgot about it. I was thinking of using the magic transfer circle, but that's in the same place as the fairy village. A place I don't want to go. But if we use Frau's fairy dust, it will be faster than to get to Armand. To be able to fly. It's something I'm very excited about. Frau spins above us. Wow, my legs are floating. Oh, I'm flying. Is my lord proud to have a slave like Frau? You're the best. I'm so happy to have made you my friend. Tilda, Lord. My face is so hot. For some reason, Kid comes up to me and hugs me. I cannot make my master fly, but I can do anything else the master commands me to do. I will heal your wounds and indulge your every desire. Oh, what's wrong with her all of a sudden? She's fighting for my attention. Is this some kind of competition? Suddenly, N punches me in the stomach. Don't just start flirting all of a sudden. I thought you were going to take me to Armand. That's right. Let's go. And follow me from behind, while Frau rides Panda. Apparently Panda can fly higher as long as she was fairy dust. Well, this is goodbye. Yes. Behind Jonathan's wagon waited at the exit. In a few days she will arrive in the town where she was born and raised. She hasn't decided what she's going to do when she returns, but for now she's going to help her parents with their work. N's family is made up of 2 happily married parents and many siblings, and they all love her, so I am sure she will be well received. She reached over and grabbed my clothes. Tears well up in her eyes as she looks at me. Please help Sora. I've been able to put up with it because Sane wasn't very interested in me, but Sora is in a pretty terrible state. What about Lisa? Averted her gaze and fell silent. So Sora is in a position to be saved, while Lisa is in a position to. Does Drew still like Lisa? I don't know. I used to be able to say it clearly, but nowadays I can't see where my feelings are, probably because I've already given up on her. It's better this way, I'm sure Toru. He's very hurt by what happened. She went on to say, and kill Sane. Only Toru can do it. I'm going to do it even if you don't tell me. As your former best friend, I'm going to do the right thing. Well, there's nothing more to say. N hugged me and buried her face in my chest. I heard a snort and then she ran off abruptly and climbed into the carriage. See you soon. Yes, We will meet again. The carriage departed and I kept waving my hand until I could no longer see it. After saying goodbye we returned to Gridget. I didn't want to go back to North Star right away. Because of this, I am forced to make changes to my plans. The original plan was to go to a certain village in Gridget. We wanted to go to the capital from there, but thanks to our stop at the hidden fairy village, it ended up leading us to a detour that ended up being important. But it was good. I was able to save both N and the city of North Star. Our plans didn't necessitate that we travel in a hurry, so we were able to be flexible in terms of the places we visit. Although now I have to speed up the pace. Grower. The food at the inn yesterday was delicious. I didn't want to eat the internal organs, but when I tasted it, it was tasty. The owner recommended it to us. Frau is not a big fan of such food. I prefer something simpler. The three of us exchanged a few words in harmony. Grr. By the way, Frau, I've never seen you in that state before. Sure. The Lord doesn't care too much about the strength of his companions just because he is strong. You should have more confidence in us, so you'll be able to rely more on your useless slaves. I agree with you on that. Master has a tendency to try to do everything himself, so he has to rely more on us. This is not what I was referring to. While we were talking I was fighting a tiger. Well, I can't necessarily say a fight, since I was playing with it, but the tiger thought so otherwise. When I grabbed him by the back of the neck and lifted him up, he suddenly changed his behavior and started making a weird noise, like he was begging me to put him down. You know you are no match for me when you fail to bite first. Occasionally, even the monsters are wild and boring. I wonder how much a tiger's skin is worth. Hearing that, the tiger became nervous. Just kidding, but I hope I don't see you around here again. Gower. I threw the tiger and as soon as it hit the ground, it ran away at full speed without looking back. Soon after, Panda peeked out of the backpack. I guess he was hiding because he thought it was too much trouble. Hey, look at Frau's stats. Speaking of which, skills. The increase in skills caused them to grow at a frightening rate. What is this growth prayer? Growth prayer is a skill that works for plants. As the name implies, it accelerates growth and speeds up the harvest time of crops. Hey, are you a blacksmith? Yes, because I'm from a blacksmithing family. That explains why she uses a hammer as a weapon. So does that mean Papao makes armor? Maybe I should ask him if he could make me a good quality knife next time. Just so you know, my lord, there's also more to see. You mean the part about your age? No, I'm talking about my level. I've improved a lot since the last battle. Well, that's true, Frau San. Please stop, thank you. It angers her to be called San, since they realized she is older than they are. Frau rose from level 130 to 190 in the last battle. Well, it is normal to happen if you have defeated a large number of demons. Kt has reached level 260. Soon she will be on a par with me, and meanwhile I am still stuck at level 300. The experience saving skill absorbs everything. No matter how much experience is doubled, it is difficult to move up when most of it is being absorbed. This ability is like a parasite. 8 Snotus, magic saving and skill experience saving have been restored. A messages appeared in my field of vision. I think I spoke too fast. I guess these will suck up a lot of my experience as well. How The village was hidden deep within the mountains. Far from the city, people continued to live their lives as in the past. Of course, there is no shower. There are no convenient items, there are few wizards, and it is an old town that goes to the trouble of boiling water using wood fire every day. However, this village is actually one of the best tourist spots that Gridget has to offer. As proof of this, the town is filled with several inns and is crowded with travelers. There are carved wooden bears and wild boars sold as souvenirs in the stores. In one restaurant, there is a sign that says the famous Pathang village tit bread, boo bread, what every man needs. By the way, Master, after leaving the village as planned, we'll be heading to the capital, right? Yes, we will wait for Sane and the others there. And said that if we go back to Balsal now, we'll just be going around in circles. It'd be better to ambush them at that place to end this. I will free Lisa and Sora, then I will kill Sane. However, I would like to talk to him before that. Of course that includes Lisa and Sora. This time, I am determined to find out what is true. Don't think too much about it. I'm sorry. It was showing on my face, wasn't it? Gently puts her hand on my arm and looks at me with concern. I have acted as if I am trying not to worry my friends as much as possible, but it is not easy. You should eat this to cheer yourself up. Nom. Suddenly, Frau puts something white in my mouth. I chewed it and the sweetness spread in my mouth. She, too, is having what appears to be white bread. What is this? They were selling it at that place. Boob bread. This town praises boobs a lot. The surface dough is spongy and delicious. I broke it in half and handed one to Kt. Nom. I missed this taste. Kt's tail swished back and forth vigorously. Panda was mesmerized by the movements of her tail and kept looking from side to side. Did you eat this too? Kt. Yes, my grandmother would secretly feed it to me without my mother's knowledge. Grandma? Well, she was actually my grandmother's grandmother. She clenched her fists as she told me. I made her stop when I realized it hurt to remember it. But does the beastkin race live for so long? Or was her great-grandmother someone very special? My doubts about how Kid came to be a slave further invade my head. I forgot to ask her how she got to this point. I am failing as her master by not knowing my slave's past. Lord, look at that. You? Frau grabs my head and forces me to turn forward. Hey, that was pretty rough. You are a slave, you should be more gentle with your master. When my eyes focused on the street, there was a crowd of people in front of the cows. The specialty of the people of Pathang, the best milk you'll ever find. 500 for a glass. Get in line. People line up. The owner pours the milk from the pot into a glass and gives it to the customer. The customers have milk mustaches and look happy. I didn't know the tits this town kept praising belonged to cows. I thought it was a different kind of boob. What a disappointment. Master, let's go have a drink. Frau wants a drink too. I'm sure Panda would also like some. Kai Yui. All right. But it don't pull me. 2 slave girls and an animal pull me by my clothes to get me to line up. Right next to the stall was a boy who was milking the cow vigorously. We each received a glass and drank together. It's so sweet and delicious. Phew, delicious. It's very good. It makes Frau happy. Kai Yui. It was so delicious that we had a second glass. Parky. Did I hold the glass too tightly that it started to break? I looked for cracks in the glass but didn't find any. Parky, 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 Parky. That familiar sound kept echoing inside my head. It can't be. But if the last reports were from the savings system. 8s notice. Since the skill savings level has reached the upper limit, it will be paid upon ranking up. 8s notice. The payout has been improved by the effect of upskiller. 8s notice. Skill savings has been damaged. It will take some time to repair. Skill savings was broken. 8s notice. Since the skill savings level has reached the upper limit, it will be paid upon leveling up. 8s notice. The payout has been improved by the effect of skill up. 8s notice. Skill savings has been damaged. It will take some time to repair. 8s report. You have acquired the skill experience multiplier. 8s report. You have acquired the dragon's eye. 8s report. You have acquired the mega boost emissary. 8s report. You have acquired a new job imitator. 8s report. You have acquired the super versatile key. These are skills I've never heard of, some of which I don't know how to use at all. No, wait. The dragon's eye sounds interesting. Is it something the warriors of the ancient race had? It is said that the dragon's eye is capable of perceiving hidden beings, such as ghosts and spirits. If something turns out to be very powerful, I may be able to capture it visually. The Mega Boost is probably a result of Master Tamer. It can be used to increase the level of tamed monsters. This is strange, as I have heard of a casual level boost, not a Mega Boost. The imitator job may be one of the skills of a copycat, but as the name implies, can you really copy someone else's job? I haven't tested these skills for a long time, but I should try them and check out their uses. The super versatile key is another skill I've never heard of. I heard somewhere that the Great Thief has a special key, a lock-picking ability that could access anything that is kept under a lock or even padlock. I feel like I've lost a little more of my humanity after this. What's the matter? My lord, you seem a little dazed. My skill savings is broken again, and my levels are growing. That's great, master, congratulations. Yes, thank you. I smiled as Kid hugged me. My pretty slave is always happy to embrace me. It makes me happy, but I'm a little embarrassed and can't look directly at her. Are you getting stronger again? No extreme changes? Frau spun around and watched me. Every time she did, I could smell her sweet, flowery scent. As I pat her on the head, Frau's face turns red and she freezes. Tilda, sudden heat pads are cheating. Should I stop? No. Caress me more. Even more? I patted her head some more and she continues to turn red and freeze up. Frau is a beautiful girl who has a small body but captivates everyone. Being restless is a flaw of hers, but I think it's also her charm. Even after all this time, I'm glad to have her as a friend. Someone taps me on the shoulder. Hey buddy, can you pay for that soon? Panda seems to have drunk all the milk in the pot while we were distracted. He was floating in the air looking satisfied. I apologized to the owner and to the customers in line. There will always be situations that make you uneasy. And my concern at the moment was about Sane, Lisa and Sora. No matter how much I torture myself with these thoughts, I won't solve anything if I don't do something soon. Everything that has happened has helped me change and grow as a person. This change has made it possible for me to see things in a way that was impossible before. That's why I'm going to enjoy this trip as best I can. Master, look. That's the Roma Tower of Crois. Wow. It looks really big from over here. Kaiyui, we were able to observe a panoramic view of the landscape from the village observatory. The forest was surrounded by multiple mountains, and in the middle of it stood a giant, majestic tower. The Tower of Crois. One of the many ruins of the ancient race. The purpose of the tower, the method and reason for its construction, as well as the structure of its interior are unknown. The reason is simple. The area where the tower is located is the domain of the elves. Humans cannot approach the tower and, therefore, it can only be seen from a distance, although it's also worth seeing from here, as the tower is more impressive from a distance. The appearance of the tower is very beautiful. It was pure white with golden decoration. At the top, a jewel-like red stone reflected a dazzling light. It is a solemn, but fantastic building. For us who were in a very high place, we could see it well without using a telescope. I can see why this town is a tourist attraction. Exactly. It looks like a mountain when you look at it up close, but it's very beautiful from a distance. A mountain? At Frau's comment, I turned my head to look at her. I was very curious about her words. From the way she said it, it sounds like she's seen it up close before. Why? Do you have that face? Have you seen that tower up close? I already told you. Fairies are good friends with elves. Oh, I think I heard it when I visited her village. I forgot all about it. Does it mean that if Frau talks to the elves, we will get a closer look at that tower? We might even get to see the inside of the place. I was really looking forward to seeing the inside of the tower. Can you ask the elves to let us see it? Well, they're pretty stubborn. I think if I convince them, they might let us in. Do you really want to see that tower up close? Of course. Frau smiles. I have a bad feeling about this. She will probably ask for something selfish. Frau wants to reach level 220. Please help me, my lord. Is that what you want? It would be my pride as a servant of the great race. Frau wants to level up fast because she wants to catch up with Ktsan and help the lord. Even a little. I don't want to be a burden anymore and stay flat-chested. I'm sure I'll make it. My eyes expanded at her words. I feel pressured by the demonic aura emanating from her. And I'm curious about the flat-chested part of her speech. Although I can understand why you might be concerned about the size of your breasts. Okay, I'll give priority to improving Frau's level on the way to town. Yay! We'll aim for level 220. Every time she jumped in the air, the pigtails of her yellow-green hair swayed. A village of elves sounds interesting. Being able to interact with a race that usually doesn't open up to humans is intriguing for an adventure lover. And I've heard that elves are very beautiful. It's natural for a man to be curious. Yes, it's natural and normal. Jayo, Kid hugs my arm. I'm here for you, master. I'm not thinking anything of what you're thinking. Oh, yes. that I know. She turns red and looks at me. She rubs her tail all over my body, as if trying to imprint her scent on me. I caress her head and she closes her eyes, looking very happy. She really is a pretty slave, my lord. Come on. I'm coming, Frau shouted, and we started walking through the forest together. Frau swings her hammer and a red bear is tossed in the air with tremendous force. She flew at high speed, zigzagging between the trees, smashing the hordes of goblins and orcs in the blink of an eye, and sending the last remaining griffin crashing to the ground. Level 220 reached. Frau raises her hammer and shouts in triumph. I've been watching her all the while, and she's like a little storm. The pace she was killing the monsters at bothered me so much that I felt it was too much. Are you satisfied? Of course, I will no longer be an obstacle. I know that feeling, Frau. A while ago I was striving every day not to be like that. Come to think of it, me, Kt and Frau were lucky. The three of us are here by luck and connection. Whip. An arrow flew out of nowhere and pierced a nearby tree. This is a forbidden place for you. Go home now, human. An elven woman landed from an elevated position. She has white skin and long golden hair that she wears in a braid. Her slender body was clad in a small garment. The area the fabric covered would make you think it was underwear. Her face was so perfect that one would think it was fake. And her long, pointed ears made it clear that he was an elf. Grick. She prepped her bow again and fixed her gaze on me. The bright arrowhead pointed at me. The one drawing the bow is a beautiful girl of about 17 years old. I warn you once again. This is a forbidden place for you. Go home now. The girl begins to radiate murderous intent. Refuse the warning and I will kill you. Passing on the silent words. Elisha. Wait, don't attack. Are you the fairy Frau? Why are you with the human? Frau steps between me and the elf. Apparently they know each other. All right, let's leave this to her. You see, Frau is now his slave. What? Impossible. They aren't satisfied enough with kidnapping elves and enslaving them, so they also capture beautiful and tender fairies. This is unforgivable. It's embarrassing that you call me cute and cuddly. Broken bar. Apparently Frau isn't going to make this girl stop. I don't get the feeling that this misunderstanding will be resolved. She is quite angry. The elf's eyes radiated murderous rage. I'll kill you. Hey. The elf shot her arrow. However, Kt, who was standing in front of me, immediately knocked it down with her iron fan. Elisha's face twisted and she clicked her tongue. How dare you use a slave beast to counter my attack? You coward! Take this arrow of Elisha with dignity and die. I'm surprised you can't see the difference in strength. I will kill anyone who mocks me. You and your master will die together. I am sure she is a high-ranking archer, and will shoot arrows one after another. Her extraordinary dexterity and precise aim attacked at intervals that left her breathless. I don't need to use magic. 2 iron fans waved as if dancing, and all the arrows were shot down. After blocking the 30th arrow, the opponent's arrows were exhausted, and Kt twirled her skirt and held her iron fan magnificently. Elisha breaks out in a cold sweat and kneels. I can't believe it. You blocked all my arrows. Don't act so surprised. You'll pay for aiming those arrows at my master. I placed my hand on Kid's shoulder and stopped her. Elisha, we have no intention of fighting. Don't think you've won just because my bow has failed. Elves have spirit magic. You'll be sorry you came to this land. Listen to me. The wind began to shift around Elisha. It is the use of magic by spirits, so it doesn't require chanting or magical power. I have heard that only a limited number of elves can use it, but she was able to use spirit magic as well as the bow. Spirit of the wind, pierce this man. I immediately used the dragon's eye. I could clearly see things in my vision that I couldn't see before. A translucent bird was floating next to Elisha. Its eyes caught me clearly and it flapped its wings on the spot to use its magic. Normally physical attacks do not work on ghosts and spirits, but now that I have clear vision with my dragon's eye, I should be able to stop it. Bash in. I instantly ran towards it and struck the wind spirit with the handle of my sword. The spirit flies into the sky and disappears. I silently returned the sword to my back. Come on, Spirit of the wind, spirit of the wind, spirit of the wind. Alashaw does not know that the spirit has disappeared and has given orders many times. And she hasn't noticed that I'm behind her either. The spirit is gone. How long have you been there? She rolls backwards and falls to the ground on her butt. When her back hit the tree, she began to sweat profusely, pale-faced. The proud, self-confident elf disappeared. It can't be. The magic is gone. The magic is gone. Yu-Gi, I'm asking you to listen to me. Yu-Gi. Her expression changes and she looks like she is about to cry. I begin to feel sorry for her. Should I stop sightseeing and go home? You are credulous, Alashaw. Frau's lord is strong, handsome and the best. Now apologize to him and let him into your village. But come now. The visit to your village will be under the name of the fairy chief's granddaughter. Everything that happens in the elf village will be the responsibility of the fairy village. I can't refuse if it's a formal visit. Alashaw stood up and returned to the depths of the forest, saying, I'll talk to the chief. If you had said that from the beginning, none of this would have happened. It is not easy to assume full responsibility. If a problem occurs, the fairy chief will be blamed. It might have been a mistake to come here. Although if we can get in, I'll leave as soon as I can see the tower. Frau's offer was accepted and we were invited to the village. However, the murderous looks fly from all directions. It is very uncomfortable. The elves who cross our gaze make a face of displeasure. On the other hand, the elven village was wonderful. Large stone buildings are lined up and a bridge is built between the houses, probably because they live in the ruins. The branches of large, abundant trees covered the top of the city and sunlight shone through the trees. The city itself creates an atmosphere that makes you want to stay forever. If they do anything strange, you will be killed immediately. Elves hate humans. I know. I'll be back as soon as I see the tower. Alashaw, who is in the lead, warns us repeatedly. It has been 100 years since humans were accepted into the elven village. It seems that last time it was a group of heroes, and they also had a lot of problems then. I'm sorry I've come to such a troublesome spot. A hard object hit my head. When I looked at the ground, there were stones on the ground. Go home, human. Yes. Children throw stones one after another. It doesn't hurt when I get hit, but it hurts my heart. It is well known that the relationship between elves and humans is not good, but it still saddens me. Master, it's all right. Let them do what they want. Very well. As a former human, I should take this punishment in stride. If I had done anything differently, I could have had an elven slave. That's why elves are such a fascinating race. Frau stomped on the ground and shook it with an impact. The noise from the elves disappeared. You plan to start a war with the fairies by attacking the Lord of One? You took on this responsibility, so if you don't cease this insolence, you will have to face the consequences. You haven't forgotten that it was the fairies who defeated you, have you? Are fairies that strong? No. The flight speed and the turns they make in the air are certainly considerable. I have heard that fairies have a strong resistance to magic. They are small, and it is difficult to hit them with an arrow. For elves, it may be a race that they don't want to have as enemies. Frau, don't threaten the villagers too much. But Alashaw, I can't forgive this. They threw stones at Frau's lord. That's right, Taru-sama. The people of my village have been very rude to you, and I will do my best to show you warm hospitality later on. To apologize, it's not necessary. You are too good to be a human. Alashaw smiled for the first time. Now I can understand why humans are obsessed with elves. It's like a flower swaying in the wind that I want to look at forever. Although she can't surpass Kid's beauty and cuteness. Welcome to my village. I am the chief of this place. Thank you. A very handsome young man smiles on the couch in front of me. He looks like a 20-year-old. However, since elves are a long-lived race, their age cannot be determined by their appearance. Excuse me if I'm rude, but how old are you? I am 320 years old. I'm quite old. I have no idea how much 320 elven years are in human years. He looks younger than me on the outside. I was wondering if I could get a closer look at the tower. May I ask what you want? It's simply curiosity. It's natural to want to see a structure like that up close. I see. Certainly. It's an amazing place. The chief continues, but there are conditions. The tower is a symbol of this town, and outsiders should not be allowed near it. However, if you agree to our conditions, You may see the outside and inside as much as you like. In fact, you can even stay in this place as guests without having to have an agreement with the fairies." "Really?" He smiled. Then there was a pause. "We haven't seen the inside of the tower ourselves, either. If you are able to open it, I invite you to do so." I couldn't process what the chief in front of me had said. "What do you mean you have never opened the tower?" "You're the chief, yet you don't know what's inside?" "That tower has always been closed and I've never been inside." "If it were to be opened, it would be a historic moment in this town." "Ha ha ha. You've never been inside?" "I don't know what's inside. I've lived on this land for generations, but I'm still not sure what kind of building it is." I was stunned. This is an important moment for us. In other words, that tower is an unexplored site. Excitement takes hold of me. "If you give me the freedom to open it, then I will do whatever it takes. I want to see what's in there." This is like a romantic feeling, isn't it? "What would you do if we found treasure inside?" "Half maybe. Too much, but I think I'm entitled to 30%. 30% is okay. If you can open it." Kt froze at such words. Since they are convinced that it can never be opened, this is our chance. "Chief, this guy is an extraordinary human. If he accepts that kind of thing at face value, we'll be in trouble if he opens up." "It's all right. Even the great thief that came here long ago couldn't open that tower." "No matter what you think, he can't open it." "But what if he makes it?" "You are very brave, but you worry a lot, Alushaw. That's why there's no one who wants to marry you." This is different, brother." It seems they are siblings, and Alushaw's words made kids and my eyes light up. I don't know if Frau knew this, but she was playing with Panda as if she didn't care. "Anyway, if I open it, will you accept it?" "Of course. As far as I'm concerned, we'll be able to see the tower up close, and if we can open it, all the better." I only went through the elf village because I wanted to see the tower from the outside, but this unexpected change of events makes it better. It is ridiculously large. The tower I was looking up at was like a white wall. I can't find anything that looks like a window, and the only thing I can enter through is the huge door opposite. The door is made of metal and its design is reminiscent of the door of the Temple of the Sacred Weapon. The time when it was built is probably the same as that of the temple. The door has a lock. This is very different from the temple doors. "How will we open it?" Kaiyue, Frau, riding on Panda, approaches. I look through the keyhole, but I can't see the other side. I knew it was different from those simple locks. I don't know how it works even with a great thief's skills. I knew from the beginning that it would be complicated, but this is beyond me. It appears that it can only be opened with an original key that cannot be duplicated. "Have you used your assessment skill yet?" "Yes, it has been described as closed and unopened for thousands of years. So it's an untouched ruin." "This is exciting. I wonder what will turn up." "What is it?" "Human." "Open the door." "Wait a minute. It's useless anyway." Alushaw was watching us. She's about to give up before she even tries. It was an impossible challenge for many people of all races for several years, so it may be inevitable to have that attitude. But it hasn't been challenged by me yet. That's the difference. I will use a piece of wire that can be found anywhere. I inserted it into the keyhole. Then I activate the super versatile key. Clank. In just 1 second, the lock was unlocked. So it's true, the super versatile key can open anything. It's open. "See, I told you it was impossible. Let's just drop it and go." I said it's open. Kieg. The door opened slightly. Alushaw was so shocked that she fell to the ground on her knees. Her face was beyond shocked and she looked like she was about to cry. "How did your broken bar do that?" "It's a pity, Alushaw. We'll be keeping 30% of any treasure." "No. Please don't do this." "Hey, don't hold on to me." "That's what your chief said." Alushaw, with tears in her eyes, went after Frau to plead with her saying tell him it was a joke. We never imagined he would succeed. Considering that I will take 30% of this tower's fortunes, her attitude and sadness are understandable. But it's too late. I opened it. And I have a great interest in the treasure that sleeps in the tower. Once the door was open, I decided to go in. What's that? Kaiyue? Behind the door was a large chamber. There was something huge in the middle of it. A beast egg more than 5 meters high. The surface was green with multiple protrusions and, although seemingly gelatinous, appeared inelastic. I reached out and touched it with my fingers. A hole was easily punctured and a foul odor was emitted from the inside. Ugh. This thing is rotten. Was it in bad shape? The assessment says it's dead. I can't stand the smell. Kid walked away from the egg. It was more complicated for her to be close because her sense of smell was superior to mine. I looked around me. Frau and Alashur were also moving to the corner, holding their noses. Kaiyui. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. I petted Panda, who looked depressed. 8 It is so large that it must have been the egg of a very powerful animal. He is quite sad that he could not become your friend. However, is there only this in this tower? Lord, there are stairs over there. Really? We're going up. All of us climbed the stairs. The second floor was full of water everywhere. The entire floor appeared to be a shallow water tank. Clean water flows from the wall. On the other side of the floor, a scaffold led to a stairway to the bottom. There don't appear to be any living creatures, and it looks like it can be used as drinking water. Have a sip. I drew water with both hands and drank it. Yes, it's drinking water. After getting confirmation, Frau and Alashur decide to take a sip as well. I wonder if it is extracted from underground. It is cold and refreshing. I feel like taking a dip in this water. Stop, Frau. This water is important for my people. Really? Alashur drinks water again and again with a big smile. It's a little creepy. In this village, we have to walk a long way to fetch water. I had no idea there was such an abundance of drinking water right under our noses. Good to know. But what's wrong with this place? The story goes that the treasure of the elves is to be found here. Treasure. The great thief's sense of smell certainly tells me that there is treasure. There is something big here. We went up to the 3rd floor. A scream escaped at the spectacle before us. The 3rd floor was lined with countless shelves, each containing an overwhelming number of scrolls. Each shelf was marked with a plaque describing the contents of the scrolls. But I can't read the ancient scripture. Appraisal, detection, clairvoyance, dissolution. It seems there are skills I've never heard of. Can you read ancient writing? Yes, that I can. Ancient writing is writing that can only be read by highly intelligent scholars. What kind of beautiful slave do I have who can read and understand it so easily? There is a magic scroll here. Really? Runs when Frau calls her. Maybe I'm the only one who can't read ancient script in this party. I looked back and saw Alashur with wrinkles between her eyebrows. Looking at the shelf again and again, he wondered, what kind of parchment is this? You can't read either, can you? For the first time since I've been here, I feel close to you. So many scrolls, it's a real treasure. As an elf you must be happy. That's right. I know it's late, but I thank you. If you hadn't opened the door, we wouldn't have had so much drinking water or this pile of scrolls. Toru-sama is a good human. Thank you. Apparently my actions have made her trust me a little. But I guess even I'd be tempted to say that with all these scrolls, the power to protect the village lay dormant here. No doubt it is the treasure of the elves. Master, there are still stairs. We will now go to the 4th floor. There was a heavy door at the bottom of the long stairs. In addition, it is locked. Here again, the super versatile key comes into play. I pulled out the wire and inserted it. Clank. The lock was unlocked and the door opened silently. By using Neza decoy, I managed to escape safely, and return to the royal capital of Balsal. But what awaited there was a deadly humiliation. I will congratulate you on getting the sacred sword. You have done well. However, what was that atrocity that happened in North Star, with the demons right in front of you? You abandoned one of your companions and fled, allowing great destruction to befall the city. A broken bar, a broken bar, a broken bar, a broken bar. If you plan to make an excuse after that, you'll be delighted to hear what comes next. After you escaped from the demons, a party of adventurers called the Maniou Brigade defeated them without batting an eye. The Maniou Brigade? How come they were there? As I was about to stand up, the knights guarding the king put their hands on their swords. I quickly knelt down again. I almost grabbed the king by the chest and I wouldn't have let go until he gave me more information. Damn Maniou Brigade. They must have killed the demon after and weakened it. They stole my prey. They have interfered everywhere I've gone, and now they are following me. I will never forgive them. Never, never, never. Never. Killing them will not be enough to satiate my anger. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Your Majesty, Please give me a chance. Good. You're still in the process of growing, and you're still the hero. I'll give you another chance to make up for your mistakes. Ah, thank you for having such a noble heart. I'm feeling nauseous from the things I just said. If you weren't the king, I would have trampled you underfoot and murdered you by now, you damned old fool. I wonder if you will beg for your life as those adventurers did in that guild. The king bowed and looked up. I have a special task for you. I expect you to fulfill it. I will give my best. An elven woman entered the room. She wore a collar around her neck, a sign of slavery. She is so beautiful that I can't stop looking at her. This is an elf I recently acquired. She's very beautiful, isn't she? I spent a lot of money for her. I'd like to have another one just like her, but I don't want to have to pay for it. Your mission is to go to the elven village in the forest of Gridget. Would you like me to capture one? The king did not answer, only smiled. There is nothing more to say. I can understand your intentions without needing you to say anything more. So capturing an elf? Huh. Well, I want one too. Since they are a rare species, their numbers should be few. If there is only one in the village, I will keep it instead of giving it to the king. The question is how to enter the elves' village. It is an exclusive place that does not allow the entrance of humans. Even the hero would not be invited easily. I have to figure out a way to get in by any means necessary. In the past, elves have cooperated with heroes many times. They are devoted to them, so the story goes. This will be too easy. I can already imagine having my beautiful elf slave. After you bring me the elf, your second task will be to defeat one of the 6 demon generals. Royce, can you do it? Yes, I definitely will. Very well. The next time we meet will be at the Conference of Nations in the royal capital of Gridget. You will hand over my elf, and prepare to be publicly named a hero. I bowed to the king and left the place. Inside me the flames of anger burned. You don't know how much I want to decapitate you, you damned old man. I've already lost count of the times I've murdered you in my imagination. You have the reputation of being a foolish king among the commoners, and they are absolutely right. Perhaps this country will not exist before long. This is where I was born and raised. But I'll get the hell out of here once I'm a hero. No matter the fate, as long as I can do what I want. I will continue to do this work a little longer. I don't like the idea of my reputation continuing to decline. On the way to the elven village, I heard many rumors about the Manu Brigade. Saved 5 cities in a single day. He has a great sacred sword. The slave he is a very beautiful woman. He defeated one of the Demon King's generals with a single blow. They have a fairy with them. The leader is very handsome. The fluffy animal with them is so cute. The real heroes are the Manu Brigade. It seems that there is a party in Balsall that wants to steal your credit. Something inside me was about to break, but I tried my best to ignore them. These are all just rumors. I know I am the real hero, and it will soon become clear who is the fake between the two parties. I think I've been too impatient with my success so far. The idea that I am the hero blinded me, and I didn't act the way I should have. No wonder I have failed at everything. Let's take a moment to remember who I used to be. When Toru was still in my party. That's the land of the elves? That's what they say. That's a very nice tower. We observed the forest from a tower in a nearby village. Indeed, it is a beautiful tower. Come to think of it, I heard somewhere that that tower was an unexplored ruin. If we manage to get in, we could get our hands on some valuable relics. If I present the relics to the royal family together with an elf or broken bafufu, I'll get into the tower any way I can. If I say I'm the hero, surely the elves will be happy to invite me in, even if some show reluctance. The Demon King is a common enemy. It is impossible not to cooperate with the hero. Let's go to the village. What? An explosion sends me flying through the air and I fall face first to the ground. BFFT. My mouth is full of dirt. Who are those that dare to attack the hero? I will make them regret it. Are you all right, Sane? I will heal you quickly. Don't worry about me. Worry about where the attack is coming from. I drew the sacred sword and prepared for battle. However, it is very difficult to see in the middle of the forest. The enemy is cleverly hiding their presence. Go back the way you came, or you'll regret it. An elf with braided hair appeared out of nowhere. Her appearance is as beautiful as the elf I saw in the palace. How lucky I am to have found one so quickly. You may not know this yet, but I am Sane, the hero. I have come here to ask for your help. Hero? The elf's reaction was abrupt. I laughed inside. So you're still afraid of the Demon King? It's okay. Just do as I say and you won't die. Come and beg me to come into your village and help you. In return, I want treasures and all the elven women they have. An arrow was shot in front of me as I was about to step forward. I don't care. It may be that in the past the elves cooperated with the former heroes, but we have decided that this village will not participate in any way in defeating the Demon King. What? Do you think we don't know what the humans' intentions are these days? We are sick and tired of their never-ending desire to kidnap us and turn us into slaves for their filthy kind. You have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not interested in your excuses. We only trust the Manu Brigade. When I heard that name, my blood began to boil. They are getting in my way again. Why do I have to keep hearing their name wherever I go? I will do my best to get into that village. That expression, is that your true nature? I almost believed you when you said you wanted to talk, but the fact that you didn't lower your sword made me distrust you. Shut up. You'll be my fucking slave. Use the Eye of Seduction on the elf. 8. Warning. The Eye of Seduction has no effect on users who have a higher level than the skill holder. What? That warning again? Why is everyone's level higher than mine lately? Lisa, Sora. We're going to invade the village. Understood. Are you sure this is a good idea? I walked ahead into the forest while Lisa and Sora supported me from behind. I blocked the arrows with my sword as I tried to close the gap between me and the elf. Someone who uses a lot of ranged attacks is weak against melee, and once you cut the distance, there's nothing they can do. I have to incapacitate this woman, even if it means hurting her. Now that my reputation with the king is at stake, I must do what it takes to get it back. Spirit? The wind rages around the elf's body and sends me flying backwards with a great amount of force. I manage to land on the ground unharmed. The elf looked at me with condescending eyes in the center of a strong whirlwind. Is it spiritual magic? I forgot that elves have powerful magic. To counter his magical power, Lisa unleashes her fire magic. Flame Blast. Magic Shield. An invisible wall counteracted the fire. I thought I heard a man's voice somewhere. They also possess a magic shield. If my memory serves me correctly, there is a scroll that grants you the ability to prevent any kind of magic. Is it possible for elves to have such scrolls? Haven't you noticed yet? You guys are already surrounded. I tensed and used my assessment skill to look around. There were elves lurking in the trees, in the shadows, on the ground, everywhere. Countless arrowheads are directed at me. At what point did this happen? You said you were the hero, so I'll give you a chance to leave alive. But this is not to say that the elves can't kill the hero. I just can't bear the thought of killing friends and fellow members of the Mayu Brigade. Set foot on these lands again, and you will. The white gator bites me. Its sharp fangs embed themselves and try to pierce my skin with a force similar to a nail trying to pierce wood. I feel like I'm getting a lot of pressure points pinched. It hurts a little. Tarudono. Why are you responding so casually? Elisha's eyes expand to such an extent as if they were about to pop out of their sockets. For someone who doesn't know my level, this scene must be a chilling spectacle. And Frau are not worried at all, or they are just observing the minerals embedded in the walls. They are not concerned about this situation. After all, no one worries about being bitten by a kitten. Toridono. I entered the lizard's mouth and slid down its throat. It's very narrow. This must be the stomach area. I thrust my sword into the inner wall of the stomach and cut it from the inside. I have nothing against you, but it is for the good of the elves, and this will serve to make me a feast. It reeks. I cut the flesh from the inside and crawled out. Blood dripped down my body and I was covered in sticky lizard mucus. I should have defeated him in a way that wasn't so pathetic. This victory feels very hollow. The white lizard was rolling over and shaking. Hey, Elisha, mind if I take a dip in here? Sure. Cool, thank you. I placed my sword in its sheath and took off my clothes. Then I leapt into the pond. It's cold. Ha 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 ha. What is it? You never cease to amaze me, Tarudono. This monster was the master of this place that has eaten and killed many elves. And then, just when I thought it was hard to kill, you come along and take it down so easily. And now it's lying dead in its own habitat. Alashaw hits the floor and laughs out loud. She must be under a lot of pressure trying to process all this. Elves are so strange that they find this sort of thing amusing. Poof! I'm going to dive to the bottom of the pond. As long-lived as this monster may have been, it's hard to live in a place like this without food. There must be food somewhere. When I got to the bottom, I noticed a side hole. A long tunnel led to the back of the cave. When I reached the end of the tunnel, there was a very wide space. Light was falling from above and the surface of the water glistened. Aquatic plants covered the surroundings, and fish swam in front of me. I see. So the cave pond is connected to this big lake. I decided to go back to where my friends were. Is there a lake near here? There is one. According to humans, you can catch a delicious type of fish there. So, this pond was the place where that monster slept. I kept the lizard in the magic storage. I would like to strip it down before arriving at the village. Elves don't eat meat, so they have no experience in such things. What the heck is wrong with me? My level went up too high. Alashaw is surprised when she checks her stats. What level have you reached? I should be level 44. But now I'm level 120. That's probably my fault. Since I recognized Alashaw as a partner, my experience upskill affected her. I will make an evaluation of our stats. Me, 300A 301, 268 271, Frau, 228 243. Killing that monster was very beneficial with respect to experiences. I love my skills. No way. Skills evaluation, LV 15. Chant emission, LV 20. Shock correction, LV 20. Power level, LV 20. Healing wave, LV 20. Apparently, she seems to have broken the limits of her abilities. However, unlike me, the upper limit of her skills is 20. Frau is also amazed at her stats. Skills. Her too? Unlike she has few skills, all of them raised to the maximum. As expected, Frau did not hide her emotions. Something is wrong with my skills. I don't think so. Look at that. My levels are amazing. Yes, congratulations. I will not give Alashaw an explanation as to why she has risen so high. It is a tedious thing to explain. Surely this must be a gift from the god of the forest. That's what she chose to believe. After returning to the village, we took refuge in the tower, not even bothering to eat. We have to select what kind of scrolls we will keep as part of our reward. There are a lot of scrolls, so we'd better hurry, or we won't be able to get out of here. It's getting easier and easier to spend time here, so I feel like I could stay for months. I'll take 5 evaluation scrolls for now. Is that all you want? I can't just depend on you kid all the time, and I'll take 6 scrolls with me for underwater breathing. I don't think we have any need for those scrolls. I took her at her word and grabbed 15 underwater breathing scrolls. On the other shelves, and Frau are choosing the scrolls they want. Frau flies with a scroll. I found the scroll with long-distance messaging magic you mentioned. Thank you. With this we will be able to communicate easily. What's that good for? Alashaw asked curiously. Messaging scrolls. In a nutshell, you can send a mental message to the person you have in mind. It can be used anytime and anywhere. It is an emergency communication method that can be life-saving. How many such scrolls are there? I didn't count them, but there must be hundreds. They occupied several shelves. We're going to take 30 of those. Frau flies away again. That may be a lot, but we still have quite a few to choose from. Although time is limited. Don't worry if you can't choose the ones you want right away. You can always come back to this village. You are our friends now, and you will always be welcome. Are you serious? Thank you very much, Alashaw. Foo-foo? Alashaw turned red and placed her hand on her chest, then left the room. I wonder what's wrong with her. Is she sick? I think I will ask to use healing magic on her later. Master, I found many amazing scrolls. Kid came over with a big smile, carrying many scrolls. As she placed them on the table in the corner of the room, she began to explain their uses one by one. This one absorbs magic power, this one lets you sleep well at night, this one increases your appetite, this one adjusts your room's temperature to a pleasant degree at night, and this one shows your current address and position. All are unnecessary, huh? A good night's sleep, a good appetite and a comfortable room temperature are everything to me. I appreciate your concern, but I don't want anything that is useless. I don't need to absorb magic power. But if you run out of magic, it's something I've been ignoring for a while, but I have an ability where I can borrow magical power, and I can even share it with other people. It seems to be a rare skill. Soaked has not been able to see it in my stats. I've already tested it, though, and it works. The result was the exchange of magical power with others. Between Kt and me, I am by far the one with the most magical power. If she runs out of magic power, I could lend her mine without any problem. So none of this is necessary? Exactly. By the way, what's that scroll you have in the back, huh? That's not a scroll. This is very suspicious. I pulled out an evaluation scroll and checked what she was hiding. Improvement of smell, ... I see. Okay, let's pretend I didn't see that. Today is the day we leave the elven village. I had been allowed to stay here for 4 more days. Elisha and the chief came to say goodbye. So you're leaving now. I'll miss you. We'll be back. We still haven't fully decided which scrolls we'll be taking as our reward. You are always welcome here. You are now friends of the elves. We shook hands. One day we will meet again. Maybe the time will come sooner than we think. The chief approaches and whispers. I feel concerned about the destination this magic circle will take you to. I am sorry to bother you with this request, but if there is a problem, feel free to send us a message. And if this circle is in a place where it can easily lead other creatures or humans to our village, please destroy it for me. I will. He probably has it in mind to use the circle, since if it's not exposed or a security risk, he doesn't want it to be destroyed. The provenance is a matter of considerable concern. Personally, I would like not to destroy it. After saying goodbye, we headed to the magic circle. It is not clear where it will send us. If we are not careful, we could find ourselves in a place where we could die instantly. But it is inevitable not to want to know what awaits us. Let us go. Yes. All right, Kaiyui. The 3 of us jumped into the magic circle at the same time. We arrived at a place where there was very little light. The magic circle shines, but the space is too big to overlook. It smells of dust and dirt, and there are no signs of any animals nearby. 8 Snotis, the level of the camouflaged ring is now level 2 8 . Are you really going to level up at a time like this? What a bad time to do it. Although it is useless to scold the ring, be wary of the surroundings, and don't turn on any lights yet. Make an assessment to find any enemies. Frau. Use reconnaissance to see if there's anything lurking. Understood. Panda, float above us. Kaiyui. I unsheathed my sword and sharpened my senses. I feel no malice, no traces of living beings. The air doesn't feel heavy. Maybe we are in an enclosed space. I don't see any enemies. Nothing and no one is hiding. All right, make a light. Uses her orb of light to illuminate the place. Apparently, we are inside some ruins. There are pieces of the ceilings crumbled on the floor, and there's debris from the walls scattered all over the place. I see no exit anywhere. I sense that this is a closed room. I will use Great Thief to find a way to get out. That's strange. I pushed a part of the wall, and suddenly a passageway opened up. However, there was no light behind that hidden door. Everything was completely dark. Also, I can't feel any airflow. So this must also be an enclosed space. I know we're inside some ruins, but I don't see any signs of a way out. This is worrisome. We have to find one fast. I don't like being locked up. Kaiyui. The 3 of us walked through the door. Various parts of the room have cracks that allow bits of dim light to shine through. It is approximately the same size as the previous room. Moreover, the deterioration is even worse here, and the sand falling from the roof formed small piles everywhere. What do you think? The front wall looks suspicious. I made sure to knock on the door in hopes of finding another secret room. But unfortunately, this time there was nothing like a hidden door, and it was in a completely sealed state, although a slight sound was generated the moment I touched it. It seems that you can't get out without destroying the wall. Everybody stand back. I pulled away, took a step back, and quickly ran towards the door to break it down with my body. Just one moment before I made impact, the door flew open. What? Behind the door, There was an old man in a robe. The momentum of my body caused me to collide with him and I knocked him over with me, slamming us to the ground. The lantern he was holding in his hand hit the ground, generating a loud noise. Ugh! The old man's lips and mine touch a bit. His beard makes me feel a tingle around my mouth. It made me nauseous. It's not the first time I've kissed someone, but it's certainly the first time I've done it with a man. I couldn't even imagine an old man being in a place like this. Hey, get away from my lips. I'm sorry. I've never done this with anyone but my wife. Don't bring it up again, please. You're torturing me. Anyway, I apologized for the incident. Even if it wasn't really my fault to appear out of nowhere. In my mind, destroying the wall made me look cool. But the reality was different. I should have broken the wall with my fists. Are you all right, Master? I hope that old man didn't do anything to you. I'm fine, don't worry. I explained to Kt and Frau that there was no problem. Although the incident with the old man's lips is something that I'm taking to my grave. Fluttering footsteps echo. I heard a scream. Are you okay? We are in a place that looks like a living room. There is a passage in the back, from where 4 adventurers came out. A muscular man, who appears to be the leader among them, turns the torch towards us. You are safe, Lord Scotchell. I'm not injured. I'm just a little surprised. I'm glad to hear that. By the way, who are these people? I don't know. They came out of nowhere, through that wall. The adventurers who appeared drew their weapons. Wait. We're not bad people. Then tell us who you are. From the looks of it, you seem like other adventurers, but nothing assures us that you are not demons in disguise. An adventurer suddenly appears in the ruins. This is certainly very suspicious. We are the Manu Brigade. We are a B-rank party. Manu Brigade. Are you the rumored adventurers we've heard so much about recently? That we are. What is this place? It is the deepest part of the ruins near the capital Gridget. The deepest part of the Gridget ruins? Weren't there about 20 floors in those ruins? We were very lucky to be sent to a distance relatively close to the elves' village. It means that the distance it takes to walk about 3 days has been considerably reduced. The old man noticed my bracelet and looked back. Oh, that's a hero bracelet. He's telling the truth. What? Old man, you know about the bracelet? Yes, I was once the hero of this country. The old man rolls up his sleeves and shows me a gold bracelet. The design is different, but certainly very similar to mine. Hey, don't you dare call Lord Scotchell old. I'm sorry, but you guys haven't introduced yourselves either. Wallows, calm down, the boy is right. HMPH. The old man steps forward and introduces himself to us. I'm Scotchell, a former hero with the title of Baron, and these are the Flamax gang. They're escorting me. My name is Orlos, I am the leader. This is Poloa, my vice leader. This is Lynn, and lastly Bax. Scotchell is an elderly man with grey hair and a beard. Orlos is a strong man with fiery red hair tied at the back of his head. Poloa is a young man with one eye hidden by a long golden fringe. Lynn is a girl from the cat tribe, a part of the beastkin race, and his brown hair. Bax is a muscular young man with short black hair and a headband. The Flamax gang, I had heard of them before. I believe they are an S-rank party that originated here in Gridget. If they have reached the deepest part of the ruins, then they must be a very skilled party. I have a hobby of investigating ruins, and this time I plan to investigate the deepest part of these Gridget ruins. But then you lot showed up and interrupted me. Sorry for the inconvenience. It's alright. How did you get here? Lord Scotchell's eyes were sparkling. Even if he didn't bother to ask, I could see it in his gaze as if he were saying if you came out from in there, then there must be a big secret. I can't say anything about the magic circle. It would be a big problem if you could use it to enter the elven village. I had stepped on a magic circle by mistake. I didn't know what it was, so I was just engrossed in looking at it. I think it was a trap. Where did you step in the magic circle? In the underground ruins of Inuk. That's a little vague. Lord Scotchell looks at me with suspicion. Let me take a look in the back. Go ahead. The old man feels along the wall and enters the place we came out of. He looked in all corners with a lantern and then let out a sigh. I had hoped to find some relic that has not yet been discovered, but I see that there is nothing here. These ruins have been exhausted. Is there something you're looking for? Well, my granddaughter has been poisoned, and I'm looking for a high-grade antidote. This search is just an excuse. The old man's face twisted with sadness. It was terribly heartbreaking to watch. I wanted to help him. I put my backpack down and pulled out the magic storage. From within the cloth, I retrieved a bottle I was saving. I took it out and gave it to Lord Scotchell. This is a high-grade antidote. What? With this you will be able to help your granddaughter. The old man, upon receiving the antidote, fell to his knees, closed his eyes and let out a deep sigh of relief. We advanced through the ruins with the members of the Flame-Axe Gang. Lord Scotchell positioned himself in the center, and we, the Manu Brigade, took charge of the rearguard. We were walking through a dimly lit passage that felt like it went on forever. Wallows, who is in the lead, continues to light the way with his lantern. It is a miracle to have met you. I was about to lose my beloved granddaughter. Is the poison she's afflicted with really that deadly? Does the poison of a gargoyle sound familiar? I understood immediately and nodded. Gargoyle, a humanoid monster that looks like a demon. Its epidermis is hard as stone and its claws are equipped with a deadly poison that turns a person stiff as stone before eventually killing them. There are 3 forms of detoxification. The first is to use an ability that can eliminate the poison. The second is to use a scroll that can counteract the poison. The third is to use a high-grade antidote. On rare occasions, some survive the poison, but if they are exposed, they will almost certainly die. My family has no money. We couldn't afford medicine or scrolls. Besides, the skill of detoxification is so rare that it doesn't exist in this country nowadays. So, with your last bit of hope, you decided to come to the ruins. Yes, and look how well things turned out. The old man smiles. His kind nature and good heart were reflected in him. There was an atmosphere about him that made me think, I want to be this kind of old man when I get old. By the way, Manu Brigade, how well do you all fare in combat? Orlo's question comes like daggers aiming at key points in my body. Pretty much okay, I think. Don't lie to me. There's no way anyone who doesn't have great strength or have a special ability would be given the title of hero. What's your real story? Have you ever slayed a dragon? Only a red dragon. Really? The members of the Orlo's party were surprised. This is an understandable reaction. Red dragons are ridiculously strong, but they also have something that defines them. It is usually the red dragons that attacking cities and towns. It is a symbol of fear, so to speak. At the same time, it is the #1 monster that adventurers want to defeat. Kid leaned close to me and whispered, "Was that when you gave me that medicine?" "Yes, you had a hamburger that day too." "Ah, that's right. It was delicious." I almost drooled remembering the taste of dragon steak. I should have saved more meat. Wow, I've never seen a fairy before. Naya. Fufu. Frau is more than just cute, she's also soft. What's that white stuff? Naya. This is Panda. He's Frau's servant. Kaiyui. Lin and Frau seem to be enjoying a lively conversation. Panda, on the other hand, seemed to be angry. Why do you add a, Naya, at the end of every word? Because the boys like it, Naya. What? It's not a problem for me. Naya 1/2 Z. Men drool over me every time I talk. Naya 1/2 Z. QUUU. What is this feeling of defeat? Frau winces. But Lin is right. For some reason, men like cat girls, and even more so if you add that characteristic word to the end of their sentences. I wonder why. It's a mystery. After spending a full day underground, we breathed in the fresh air and soaked up the warmth of the morning sun. What a nice feeling. I feel like a new man. There was a lot of dust in the ruins. I really want to take a quick bath. My body is sticky. Kaiyui. The entrance to the ruins was deep in the forest. The leaning stone statues were adorned with ivy and some of them were covered with lush moss. The ground, where the cobblestones would have been, is grassy, with rotting stone pillars lined up in 2 parallel rows. Let's take a break here, Lord Scotchell. No, I have to hurry home. I don't have time to rest. But we're reaching the limits of our strength. Panda. Pantu appears in front of Lord Scotchell. His oval shape further expands until it becomes sufficient to carry one person. Panda is a beast that can carry people and items. I'll send him to your home, so feel free to use him. Thank you for your help. Gunyan. The old man rolls his eyes as he climbs up. He was surprised to feel it for the first time. Panda is soft, fluffy and a little warm. Interesting to see what kind of creatures these animals are. Don't rub it too much, he doesn't like it. Be very careful while rubbing Panda, Lord Scotchel. Indeed, Panda's eye expresses his anger at such an act. We left the ruins and began to advance towards the royal capital of Gridget. That's my home. It's a small mansion for a former hero and a baron. I don't like big things, just enough to be able to live. I very much agree with that thought. Lord Scotchel's mansion was a two-story building facing the main street. Its width is so wide that it looks like there are two houses. It has a fashionable appearance and makes a nice impression. I wonder if it's his wife's hobby. We have arrived. Thank you for going out of your way to bring me to my home. This is my way of thanking you. Understood. Invite your friends over to eat something really delicious. Thank you, Master. The Flamax gang gave us a slight wave before leaving. Master? Orlos is my disciple. He is now even stronger than me. He was a brat many years ago. Now he has grown into a great man. Master and disciple. I like that. In my case, I learned the basics from my father, but he died when I was young, and since then I have been mostly self-taught with respect to fighting. There is no one I can properly call a teacher. I envy Orlos. The old man invited us into his house. Father, did you find anything in the ruins? I had no luck. I see. As soon as you enter the house, a middle-aged woman comes running out of the back. Probably the mother of his granddaughter. She was kneeling on the floor. Instead, some people I met in the ruins gave me a high-grade antidote. This will help Anna. Is this the guy who gave it to you? Yes. Now prepare the cups. We have to give our guests a warm welcome. Yes, Father. The mother who received the jar thanked us before going upstairs. This will help your daughter. I was invited into the dining room and sat in a chair. I'll go make some tea. Please wait for a moment. Don't worry, it's not necessary. Don't be silly. You just saved my lovely granddaughter's life. I can't just let you sit there quietly. Lord Scotchel went to the kitchen. Never before had a nobleman made me a cup of tea. It is unbelievable that someone like him would treat a commoner like me this way. Freshly brewed tea is placed on the table and Lord Scotchel sits down. Thank you so much for what you have done. I can't tell you how much it means to me. That's okay. I happen to have an extra antidote. For you it may be, but not for me. I owe you a debt I can't repay, and I don't know how to shape this feeling. He pounded his fist into the palm of his hand saying I got it. He ran out of the room, the sound of his footsteps echoing throughout the house. He is a very energetic old man. I didn't know he had the energy to keep running when he was so exhausted before. When he returned, he placed a box on the table. Pay close attention to what I have in my hands. What is it? Foo-foo. Do you want to know? Do you really want to? Don't get so mysterious now. In his hands was a rectangular box made of wood. At first glance, I don't know what's in it. But that size. It looks familiar. Lord Scotchel opened the box and there was something wrapped in cloth. The fabric is lifted and what was underneath is exposed. No way. Yes. This is a beast egg. In his hands he held a pale blue beast egg. A pale blue beast egg. The surface is elastic and smooth with no protrusions. What state is it in? It's alive. I never thought I would see a beast egg in such a place. Now that I think about it, Lord Scotchel was very interested in Panda. It makes sense that he would have one. Are you giving this to me? Yes. At worst, I was thinking of selling it to help finance the purchase of an antidote. Even though it was given to me by Her late Majesty as a token of our friendship. I never wanted to sell it, but at times like this, it's the least I can do. And you still plan to give it to me? I cannot accept it. Now that's a bad idea. It is unthinkable to give such a precious object gifted to you by the royal family to a complete stranger. It's all right. I didn't have enough magic power to wake it up. If I leave it like this, it will be a waste of a treasure. Besides, I can't stop thinking about it. Anna, thank God, I'm glad you're alive. I can hear the mother's voice from the second floor. At the sound of her voice, Lord Scotchel closes his eyes and makes a satisfied expression. It is decided. I will hand this egg over to the heroes of the Maniou Brigade. If you insist. It would be tactless to say anything more about the man's steadfast determination. Once he says something, he doesn't regret it. His eyes tell me so. Frau sits at the table and taps the egg. You're telling me there's another creature like Panda in there? That's weird. It's true that they are different from ordinary creatures. I wonder how many types there are in total. As far as I know, 13 species of eggs have been identified, but there is actually some speculation that there were more types of beasts a long time ago. I knew the relic was interesting. Ancient creature eggs, as much as you hear about them, are full of wonder. Panda approached the egg and made a gesture as if he was smelling it. Are you reacting to your new friend? Can I wake it up now? It belongs to you. You can do with it whatever you want. I hastened to transfer magical power to the egg, as it is somewhat annoying. I decided to inject it all at once. That's a lot of magic. It's distorting space. That's because Master is Master. That's not an explanation. Kaiyui, the egg's absorption of my magical power finally ends. The feeling is similar to that of Panda. The egg began to leak blood. Steam came out of it. The top of the egg opened up into 6 parts, revealing the interior. I can't see anything. Shoo. Something jumped out of the egg. It then fell to the ground and bounced. It's a fish. It's a fish. It's a fish. Kaiyui. It has a light pink body surface and a rather flat head. The mouth opens and closes repeatedly. The mouth opens. The mouth closes. The mouth stopped moving. It's dying. Water. 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 We took the fish to a tub of water and I released it in there. After a while he began to swim slowly. That was dangerous. I almost killed him as soon as he was born. Lord Scotchel is looking into the bathtub, thinking about something. It's probably a shark. Definitely. Are you talking about those wild animals that are in the sea? Yes, the appearance is a little different than what I saw, but the body is that of a shark. A friend in town showed me a shark in a picture book, but I think it had a scarier face. His eyes are distant, he has no fangs in his mouth, and he has a vaguely dopey look that makes it hard to tell what he's thinking. The shark looks at me and opens its mouth. But if you look closely, it can be charming and beautiful. What name do you want to give it? How about Shark Boy, per the shark similarity? That's great. Hi, Shark Boy. It's a strange name any way you look at it. At least we can have some fun with it. When I petted Shark Boy, he was happily wagging his tail fin. I wonder if it will feel comfortable in that environment, since it is not seawater. And I don't know how it can be of use to me either. Is it a support beast or an attack beast? It gives him an assessment. It looks like it's a familiar beast guarding the water. I'd say it's between Panda and Rosyuk. I see. I'm counting on you, Shark Boy. Glup glup. I stored Shark Boy in the seal that was engraved on my arm next to Rosyuk. The moment I did so, the tub emptied. If you want, you can relax for a while in my home. We have some spare rooms that you can use as you like. I appreciate it very much, Lord Scotchel. You can call me Scotchel. I'm going to go see my granddaughter, so I'll see you guys later. He smiled and then went upstairs. The next day, Scotchel knocks on the door to a room. There was a young woman looking out the window from her bed. This is Scotchel's granddaughter, Anna. She had shoulder-length blonde hair cut short, her eyes were blue, her body was white and slim, and she had an atmosphere about her that makes you want to protect her. She is a girl with a charming appearance and nice smile. Grandpa, who are they? The adventurers who gave me the antidote. I told you yesterday. Ah. You must be the Manitou Brigade. Thank you for doing this for me. I know it was a very expensive item, but how can I repay you? Don't worry, I've already received the appropriate reward. Scotchel stops her when she tries to get out of bed. Feeling better already? I'm not worried about the poisoning, but I haven't recovered all my strength yet. According to Scotchel, a week ago she was scratched by a gargoyle that entered while she was doing laundry. Fortunately, she was able to make it home and was unharmed, but the resulting poison began to spread and slowly weakened her. The doctors had told her that she had 2 weeks to live, so if we had spent 1 more week in the elven village, she might not have been in this world. It is more than luck. It is a miracle. Pack. Intense footsteps echoed in the house. Bam! A blonde-haired young man opened the door to the room with force. Anna. Is it true that you were poisoned by a gargoyle? Hi Uncle Sama. Anna. The young man pushes me away and kneels at the side of the bed. Then, He gently covered Anna's right hand with both hands. "Why didn't you tell me? I would have done anything for you." "My uncle is the heir to the throne of this country. To use the power of the royal family for the daughter of an inferior aristocrat like me." "Don't say that. I'd do anything to protect you." "Hi Uncle Sama." Anna. The two people embraced. "I don't understand anything. My brain itches from trying to understand this. A situation like this gives me heartburn. So much romanticism makes me feel weird." "It's true, I've had moments like these with Lisa before, but now I'm 25 years old, so this seems exaggerated to me." "It's lovely. I admire two people who love each other. I love the idea of a prince. It's every girl's dream." "Kaiyui?" "Perfect. Now I have two daydreaming girls." "I guess these things happen to me because I am inexperienced in love. Wait a minute, what's this about a prince?" As if sensing my hesitation, Scotchell speaks to me in a low voice. "My granddaughter is in love with the first prince." So many important things were happening that I forgot to tell you about it until now. "Then Anna will be the next queen." "It's too early to decide." "She is the granddaughter of the Baron, and he is the first prince. They are very different people. It is still acceptable for her to be a concubine. But when it comes to taking the title of queen, there are many people who oppose the idea. In the past, there have been several cases where royalty have married individuals of a lower status. But basically, they would marry someone close to them in status. It is very complicated to accept that idea considering that the Baron hardly fits into the nobility. My mother loves you. You will definitely be the queen." "Hi Uncle Sama." Here we go again with the cheesy stuff. "I'm going to leave this room." Anna's gaze turned to me as I took a step. "These are the ones who helped me." "Truly?" The prince stood up and hugged me. Thank you so much for helping Anna." "Why yes. You're welcome." "What is your name?" "Toru." Hi Uncle grabs my arm and drags me forcibly out of the house. "Come with me." A beautiful carriage was parked in front of the house. The gentleman opens the door and climbs in without hesitation. After a moment we also got into the carriage. "Where are we going?" "You'll find out when we get there." That's all he says before smiling in satisfaction. "We're not going to the palace, are we?" "I don't want any trouble." "I hope I am wrong." "But certainly." The carriage was headed for the palace. Bang! The prince vigorously opens the door with both hands. "What's the matter, uncle?" "You're a prince. Act decently." "Mother, reward those who have helped Anna." "This is very sudden. I need more context." The prince jumped into the audience chamber with the queen. The queen, who looked beautiful on the throne, was in the middle of an argument with her vassals. The room was noisy, and the vassals and knights stood aside in silence. We suddenly entered the room and found ourselves in a very uncomfortable state. "And how many times do I have to tell you to call me your majesty when we're here?" "I'm sorry, you're right. I'm sorry mother." "You should be." The queen rises from her chair and hits the prince's head with a fan. However, the prince doesn't seem to mind. "Are you used to being beaten?" "I don't understand. Could it be that I've hit you over the head too many times and that's why you're so dumb?" "Don't worry, mother. That's the way I've always been." "I know, my son. You always have been." "And that doesn't reassure me." The queen returned to her throne as if she had surrendered. She made a slight gesture with her hand and motioned everyone out of the room except the knights. Then she turned to us with an intense gaze. "Judging by their appearance, they are adventurous." Anna needed a high-grade antidote to help her with her health problem, and it looks like these people offered it to her. "That's my mother." "You're very perceptive." "Ha, no big deal. It was a simple thing to guess." The queen places a hand on her forehead. You can see the anguish in her deep sighs. "None of this interests me. I would just like to go home." "If they plan to give me a reward, I'd like them to give it to me as soon as possible so I can get out of here." "Give them $1 million each. That way we'll get this over with quickly." "I'm a very busy person, and you know it." "It is not enough, mother. The importance of the country is just as important as Anna's health." "You should give them a medal for saving the future queen's life, and not just 1 million, but 10 million each." "Hey, a medal?" "I will not accept that." "I simply hid the medicine and gave it to an elderly man worried about his granddaughter." The queen had a look of disgust as she placed her hand on her cheek. "This is not the first time I have had to listen to this kind of nonsense coming out of my son's mouth without him thinking about his words beforehand." That was the atmosphere that the queen demonstrated. "You have a strong point, And these people, aren't you going to introduce me to them? Oh, right, Toru, please introduce yourself. The conversation suddenly turns to us. It's annoying, but I have no choice but to do it. I'm Toru, leader of the Maniou Brigade. These Arct, Frau, and the fluffy animal is Panda. We are a party of adventurers who travel all over the world. The Maniou Brigade, are you the ones I've been hearing a lot about lately? The Queen seemed to be surprised when she saw my bracelet. She placed a finger on her mouth and kept silent, then smiled as if she had thought of something. She then quickly straightened her clothes and posture. Maniou Brigade, I am pleased that you have come all this way. As a mother, I thank you greatly for helping my daughter-in-law, Anna, survive her terrible ordeal. It was no big deal. I know this is sudden, but what is your next objective? Are you looking for a well-paying job as an adventurer? That sounds good. I thought I saw the Queen's eyes light up. I have a bad feeling about this. I smell trouble ahead. I tried to rush out of the room saying I'm sorry, I have business to attend to. But the knights closed the door. I have heard magnificent rumors about you for quite some time. I have heard that you have defeated 2 of the Demon King's generals. Can you defeat a 3rd one as well? Of course, you will be well rewarded. Ha, yeah. Another knight grabs both my arms and forces me to bow in front of the Queen. I don't think I will escape until I have heard your proposal. Foo-foo. I think I can talk calmly now. The Queen narrowed her eyes happily. Beyond the royal capital of Grigit, there is a mountain range that passes through 2 towns and 3 villages. You have to cross the mountain range to reach the neighboring country, Greyfield. However, it is said that for the past 2 weeks, a horde of demons has been occupying the roads that cross the country. Immediately, the Queen began a cleansing operation to wipe out the demons. The results have been disastrous. The enemy was very strong. The group of demons was led by a general who was 1 step below the Demon King. The Queen was so angry about this that she sent word to Balsl, a country that had an adventurer with an aspiring hero. However, the adventurer never arrived. He should have been here by now. So we conveniently arrived at a time when the Queen was in distress. I feel like the Prince and Queen are setting me up. Is there something wrong with that? It's for the good of the people, for the good of this world, and for the good of the Maniou Brigade. Have I told you that you are a very good slave to me? Hee. I stroked Kid's head as she walked beside me. Her tail rubs casually against my ass. Speaking of which, I feel like her hair has improved a lot, probably because she uses the shampoo and conditioner of the ruins. It feels very soft when I stroke it. Her fox ears are also fluffy, and when petted, she ducks them. I tripped over a pebble and quickly grabbed the hem of my clothes. Excuse me, I didn't mean to. I don't care. Just watch your step. Okay. For some reason, it won't let go of my hum. He looks me in the eye and seems to want to say something. Can I keep holding on a little longer? Of course, master. Her smile is as if a beautiful flower had bloomed. She fidgets and follows a little behind me, pinching the hum. After all, my slave is very pretty. Frau wishes she had been born with Kid's height. Kaiyui? That's none of your business. Meddlesome Panda. Kaiyui, Frau and Panda were arguing. It's good to see them getting along so well. Suddenly, I heard a sigh of dismay behind me. Why do we have to follow these people? If you don't like it, you can go home alone. Naya. Ha, that's even worse. Then I'll have to listen to Orlo's scolding. Then be silent, Naya. Good men don't talk about unnecessary things. Naya. Poloa clicks his tongue. This time we were forced to bring companions to defeat the demons. They are Poloa and Lin, from the Flamax gang. They seem to be close friends of the royal family of Grigit, and were sent as collaborators and observers. The reason these 2 were specifically chosen is simple because they are relatively agile and have a high probability of escape even against demons. Hey Toru, are you really that strong? What makes you think that? I took a look at your stats with the evaluation scroll. And according to this, your level is 50. Our opponent could be over 100. I'm using my camouflage ring to hide my level. As for the skills, only damage reduction, physical strengthening and the upskill effect are shown. Comparing the levels of past heroes, I could easily be a joke. They gave the title of hero to the party, not to me. If possible, I want everyone to see us as a party that works as one, and not recognize us for our abilities as individuals. I'm sorry to say this, but if that's the case, Then the Flamax gang is better suited for this mission than you guys. I guess Almond has already produced so many heroes, they've finally fallen to the bottom. I sense a lot of confidence in your words. I hope you're wrong. Poloa replied, sure. This is very strange. You can say all you want, you have known nobles for a long time, you have raised enough money to buy their titles. As far as I'm concerned, I stopped caring about that kind of thing a long time ago. By the way, we are currently on a narrow path that is located on a precipice. Apparently, this is a shortcut. Grank. A large rock rolled down from above. Watch out. Quick, get out of the way. Lin and Poloa were the ones who noticed and shouted the warning. Buosh. I lightly tapped the rock with my hand, as if swatting a fly. The rock disappeared into the sky. I hope it doesn't hurt anyone. I should be more careful when I do this kind of thing. After that, Lin and Poloa were stunned by my strength.